College Football Playoff Management Committee will meet next week in Dallas to keep talking about the possible expansion beyond the current 4-team format. Meanwhile, bowl season executives who oversee all 43 bowl games are asking that any future playoff expanded games be played at current bowl sites and not on campus sites.
Introducing ATG by Wrangler. We are all greater outdoors, and this apparel doesn't compromise, conform, or call it quits. So, when you're heading into the wild, wearing ATG should be second nature. Shop Wrangler.com today.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Good Thursday night football matchup coming up tonight on Fox 30, and you can hear the game on ESPN 690. It's the Packers, it's the Cardinals. Is it really going to be that good if Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a ton of receivers to throw to? That certainly is part of the story. We have a World Series now. This isn't going to be a sweep or a runaway. It's 1-1 after Houston wins. No surprise there. I think Braves fans should be pretty happy to get a split after the first two. Not going to win them all, that is for sure. Not against Houston. Houston, remember, the favorite going into the World Series. We've got Game 3 coming up tomorrow, all weekend long, by the way. You can catch most of the World Series action on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau live at String Sports Brewery every Thursday. Jaguars All Access comes up at 7 o'clock as the Jaguars get set to go to Seattle. It almost feels like the year has started again. The Jags haven't played in so long. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Jack studios. Casey Kurtz there as well. Austin, I'm looking forward to the Jags playing for the first time in a while, but it's a long way to get there because we have, 2 nights of high school football for us and also Florida, Georgia before then.
Yeah, well, we're a long ways away and a pretty good football game tonight, hopefully. Word on the street is that Matt LaFleur right now is on the phone with Jeff Monken of Army trying to figure out how to run the triple option because Green Bay is decimated at the wide receiver position. Devontae Adams, nope. Alan Lazard, nope. Martez Valdez-Scantling, I can't pronounce his name. Nope. It's going to be, I think it's going to be the Randall Cobb show and also the Robert Tonyan show. So I think tonight is going to kind of showcase just how great Aaron Rodgers could be.
Yeah, I think so. Or it just might be a flop of a game because he doesn't have much out there. He is still – it's not going to be a knock on him if he doesn't have any of his weapons. So we'll see what happens. I got a feeling this game has a lot of hype and might be a dud. I think Arizona's going to handle business pretty easily. I kind of felt that way before all the receiver stuff. But now with the receiver stuff, I don't have a good feeling of this being a great game. But it's been very entertaining in prime time, so we will see what happens. Other quick story, speaking of Arizona, no J.J. Watt out for the year. Now, this is a guy that obviously is going to go down as one of the greats of all time. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. But he might have been able to separate himself into this even more elite class, Austin, if he could stay healthy. The back a couple of times, now this. If you look at it, Chandler Jones, I think, still has more sacks than J.J. Watt, but nobody would say, Chandler Jones has a better career than J.J. Watt. Doesn't feel that way. I think the injuries have caught up a little bit with a declining body for J.J. Watt.
No, of course. It's just Father Time's undefeated, and no matter how much you try to prolapse that, or no matter how long you try to stop that, sometimes your body just gives out, and I think that's what's happening with J.J. Watt right now. So J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones are tied with 102 sacks apiece. One would think that Chandler Jones is probably going to beat that later on, maybe tonight or eventually, because he's fairly healthy. Yeah, it's just it's a rough go for J.J. Watt. I'm not saying this is the end by any means. He's definitely going to go out on his own terms, but it's kind of heartbreaking for him. I don't want to say heartbreaking. I don't want to be too aggressive here, but it sucks for him because having spent that much time in Houston, getting a taste of the playoffs here or there, but, nothing that really stuck. And you seem like you're on a special team here in Arizona, only undefeated team left in the NFL, and now he's out for the rest of the year and is going to be forced to sit on the sidelines. Still going to be a big contributor in terms of leadership and getting those guys ready to roll, but obviously he wants to be out there with his teammates.
Well, what does it do to their defense? I mean, J.J. Watt was playing pretty well. I mean, he's a factor. He was effective in the game here in Jacksonville. Chandler Jones actually wasn't. To have a couple of guys makes a big difference. They have some playmakers on every level of defense. I think their defense might be the most underrated story of the entire season in the NFL because everybody wants to talk about their offense. But they can win any style of game. I mean, if the Rams are going to shut them down at some point, say in a postseason game, I feel like, well, Arizona can shut the Rams down too. I think they've had that kind of defense so far this year at least. How much does it change their defense? How much does it now shift the focus to Chandler Jones where maybe you can double team, you can chip, you can do some things that maybe J.J. Watt wouldn't allow you to do? I wonder how much it changes the Arizona Cardinals going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it begs the question, do you trade for somebody else? Do you try to bring somebody else to that team? Do you rely on the backups? J.J. Watt, I think he only had one quarterback sack this year or 2 sacks? I mean, he wasn't jumping off the paper. He had 16 tackles, 1 quarterback sack, and 1 forced fumble. But, just having his presence there in the run game, shutting his side of the field down is what he was specializing in. So when you lose a guy like that, it's going to be a big loss. So I wonder if Arizona kind of plays the all-in role right now and makes a move for somebody else. I mean, a guy who I still think is one of the most underrated defensive tackles in the entire NFL, who's on a team right now that's probably looking to ship some guys off, a guy and the Eagles and Fletcher Cox. I wonder if the Cardinals pursue a guy like that.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, listen, I don't think J.J. Watt is unbelievable anymore. I don't think he can single-handedly maybe do what his brother does, right? But I do think he still impacts football games, even if the stats don't show it, because that game, he impacted this game in Jacksonville. I know that. And I expected him to kind of start on the decline, and I thought he was still impacting football games through 7 games of the year for the Arizona Cardinals. Just to give you an idea, 32 years old is not necessarily – that's what J.J. Watt is. That's not that old for a defensive end, for a pass rusher. Now, it can go quick in any sport, and obviously the body goes sometimes. But to put that in perspective, Calais Campbell is 35 years old now, still playing at a good level. But if you want to go back a few years when he played at an unbelievable level, like in 17 and 18, that would have put him right around J.J. Watt's age. So, I mean, you can have big years even at 31, 32, 33, 34 years old in the NFL in that position. So 32 can be old for an athlete. What I'm just trying to tell you is it's not necessarily old for a pass rusher in the NFL.
I think, in terms of age and pass rusher, it can be deceiving because, in terms of tread on J.J. Watt's tires, this guy's been asked to do a lot. Very rarely when he was in Houston did you ever see him come out. He was pretty much in for the entire game, and kind of getting spelled here or there. Usually on a defensive line, you're rotating guys in and out. If it's a longer drive and there's time to rotate, maybe 8 or 9 plays, and then you bring the fresh guys in. It always seemed like J.J. Watt was on the field for Houston, because he was their go-to guy. So when you add those years up of playing that way and depending so much on J.J. Watt, then it's going to take more tread off your tires and probably the basic defensive lineman. So I think in terms of age, he still has some years to go at 32 years old. But I think in terms of mileage right now on his body from playing so much from Houston, I think he's a little older.
Hey, let's shift, just hit on a couple things to begin the show. I want to get to the Jags in a moment, too. I've got a thought on the Jags that hit me this morning, and I want your thoughts on that. But Florida-Georgia week is here, of course. I see some Georgia Bulldogs just here at String Sports Brewery. So, the party's about 48 hours away now from this football game. And it's a massive game for Georgia. Georgia wants to keep the mulligan in their back pocket. And it's not necessarily a sure thing to have a mulligan in the SEC championship game. But you can certainly paint a scenario where they could lose a close game, say to Alabama, in the SEC championship game, and both teams get in the Final Four, especially this year in college football, how dominant Georgia has been, how much equity they've probably built up with the committee and with everybody else in college football. Seems like a clear separator right now between them and even Cincinnati and everybody else. So this is big. They win this game, they keep that in their back pocket as a possibility. They lose this game, well, you got to win the SEC championship. You got to beat Alabama. So that's how massive this game is for the Georgia Bulldogs. 14-point favorites, Austin. Does that number seem about right? Does it get your attention in any way that they're 2 touchdown favorites against the Florida Gators, a team that, by the way, about a month ago lost by 2 at home to Alabama.
I would say that's about right. Usually Vegas knows what they're doing here, and what Vegas knows right now is that you're talking about one of the best defenses maybe in the history of college football. And you know that, if Florida has any chance to win, it's going to require them running the ball. And Georgia just doesn't allow that. So I think it definitely is an advantage Georgia. Now, can Georgia's offense, have a couple explosive plays? They have shown, some here or there. I just watched an LSU offense, though, that, let's be honest, I don't think they even have the players that Georgia does on offense. And LSU absolutely curb stomped Florida, it seemed like. So, yeah. I think 14 points is fair. I'm not surprised by it. And then if we're being honest, I probably would go with Georgia with the 14.
Yeah, you certainly feel that the pressure is on Florida early in this game to kind of keep the flow right and don't have an early turnover, special teams mistake, give up an easy touchdown to Georgia through the air or something like that, whatever it might be. Because if you get down double digits against Georgia, it's over. I mean, it's over. So you have to keep the game in a manageable spot because you do have to be a little cautious and game plan around that defense. I don't like to play scared. I don't think the Florida Gators will play scared. I don't think Mullen will play scared. But he also doesn't have like this veteran quarterback that he can really trust and rely on just to kind of let things loose. He's got an offense that can be good. He's got an offense that's been a bit inconsistent. So I think you have to keep the game flow in a certain order if I'm Dan Mullen, even though there's really no pressure on Mullen in Florida.
See, but I think they do have the quarterback in Anthony Richardson. I mean, you saw that against LSU. He literally brought them back from nowhere. Now, I'm not giving LSU's defense so much credit because they're LSU and, they are where they are for a reason right now. But you saw once Emory Jones left the game and Anthony Richardson comes in, everything's just different. And with Richardson, I know Mullen's been kind of playing coy a little bit and saying, we'll see. It might be Emory Jones. It might be Richardson. I think if you go with Emory Jones, you want to run the football more, I think that's a bad idea because that's what Georgia specializes in is shutting down the dual threat quarterback, is shutting down the running quarterback. I think if I'm Dan Mullen and, this is probably the biggest game that remains on your season here, really a must-win game to maybe salvage your season with recruits watching everything, I'm playing Anthony Richardson. And then I'm going to try to let Georgia's secondary beat me.
Yeah, by the way, I think everybody in the Gator fan base feels this way. I think everybody in college football feels this way. I think everybody in Jacksonville feels this way. They're going to see a lot of Anthony Richardson on Saturday. I think he will start the game. I think they'll get him. I don't know if they'll mix some guys in and might just depend on mixing Emory Jones in. Might just depend on how Richardson is playing. But I don't think there's any question they're playing Richardson. And if you go back a few weeks when we've had this kind of look ahead to this game in Jacksonville, I've kind of said this. I felt like they were almost trying to, how long can we keep Richardson out, not showcase everything, and then we're going to unleash him against Georgia, and we're going to show some things they haven't seen on tape. Like, that's kind of what I felt like was happening with Mullen and why he was playing Emory Jones, and certainly Richardson was nicked up a little bit. So there was a lot of factors go into it. Now, he played a lot more against LSU, maybe even more than they wanted him to for that reason, if there was some gamesmanship going on. I just kind of, in the back of my mind, I felt like they're going to really unleash Richardson here in Jacksonville against the Dogs because they will look at that as an advantage and people haven't seen it. So now we've seen a little bit more Richardson. I think everybody kind of knows he gives you the best chance, and he does some amazing things with the football. He's a freaky athlete. So I think you're right. I think we'll get Anthony Richardson. But, I mean, Mullen has been quiet on it, and that's not a surprise. And Mullen, even when people were calling for Richardson a few weeks back, still was going with Emory Jones 95% of the time. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Keep in mind, Dan Mullen can really coach in-game. Like, that's his advantage here, and that should scare Georgia fans a little bit, the in-game coaching. Not to say Kirby Smart's bad, but Dan Mullen has proven himself very good. And, again, the attitude of this game, this is everything on the line for Florida, even though they're unranked, because they don't have much else to play for. They've done all the other things. This is the game they really want, spoil that rival's party and a bit at a national championship. Meanwhile, Georgia, it's really interesting. Stetson Bennett has had the hot hand. They can be number one in the country, and you really don't know who they exactly are going to play at quarterback, Austin. Yeah. I mean, Stetson Bennett, JT Daniels, from Heisman hopeful and one of the favorites to injured. Stetson Bennett's come in. He's looked good. He's done his part. He doesn't have to do too much. Neither quarterback does. I think it's a little more tricky on the Georgia side. Do you go with a guy with a hot hand, even coming off a bye week, or do you go with probably the better quarterback, and that would be JT Daniels? Health certainly should factor into that.
No, health definitely does factor into it, but I try to take the hot hand here. The guy, I mean, basically, I'm going to say the guy that's not going to turn the ball over, right? Because I am that confident in my defense, and I am that confident in my run game. So what you're asking from your quarterback from Georgia to do right now is just play complimentary football and not turn the ball over. Whoever gives you that best opportunity, I think is going to give you the best chance to win on Saturday.
Yeah, so we'll talk more Florida, Georgia. I love it. We're seeing the flags on the cars downtown. I was just down there. Things are getting busier. RV City's been open since Tuesday. They've been in line since Sunday. I see some Dogs fans in town already. You know the party's going on. St. Simon's Island. In fact, Danny Werfel's golf tournament and event is up there tonight and tomorrow. We will go up to that event at 4 o'clock and talk a little more Florida, Georgia on the way. And for you Dog fans, sorry, the neutral folks around here, it's Florida, Georgia this year. If you're a Dog fan, call it Georgia, Florida. I know you will. If you're a Gator, call it Florida, Georgia. Neutral broadcast guy is going to say Florida, Georgia because it is that year to call it that way here in Jacksonville. By the way, it's like the most common question we get in the newsroom and everywhere else this time of year. Like, what is it this year? Is it Florida, Georgia, Georgia, Florida? And the funny thing is, Austin, no, it doesn't matter because whatever you say, depending on who you're talking to, they're going to tell you you're wrong because Georgia people call it Georgia, Florida. Florida people call it Florida, Georgia. The neutral fans really don't give a damn.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. You know, I mean, I didn't grow up in the SEC. I don't have anybody in this fight, so I'm just going to stick with what I had known as a kid, and it's Florida, Georgia. Sorry.
Yeah, our world's largest outdoor cocktail party, right?
That, too.
Let's just call it that. Should be a lot of fun coming up on Saturday. Full coverage. By the way, I do want to let you know, and we'll do more of this. Two things. Download the Relevant app. We've been putting clues on the Relevant app. It's RELEVNT. We've been putting more content there, some exclusive content there. You can find a couple tickets to the Florida-Georgia game if you don't have them by going to the Relevant app, downloading it, and then finding clues all the way through Saturday, right around noontime or so, and how you can get maybe find some tickets to the Florida-Georgia game. But it starts with the Relevant app there. And then a reminder, special coverage right here on ESPN 690 on Saturday morning, 10 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. We will do an ESPN 690 Game Day live from the Florida-Georgia game and the Duval House. So make sure you lock us in at 10 a.m. until 1:30 p.m., and then we'll hand off to Florida State Clemson. So it's a busy college football day on ESPN 690. Of course, TV side, it's all CBS 47, starting at 2 o'clock, an hour pregame show. The game kicks at 3:30, postgame show, Action Sports Jax primetime at night. So really a fun weekend in town, and keep it locked on all the Action Sports Jax family of networks, if you will, for college football and then the NFL on Sunday. Speaking of the NFL on Sunday, Austin, as we're live from String Sports Brewery here on a Thursday, the Jags really doesn't feel like they've played in a long time. What's your early outlook on this game, Seattle? You know, you come off the Seattle game Monday night, it's kind of boring. They don't play that well. They've lost a few in a row. They're 0-3 at home. That never happens. I think it's the first time since 92. So Tuesday you come in like, hey, Jags can beat them. Jags can beat them. Well, listen, Jags certainly could beat them. They had a chance to beat the Cardinals. They had a chance to beat the Bengals. So I agree with you. They could beat them. But how difficult is this matchup on the outside for the Jags? Do they have any answers? And just going out west has not been a thing. And now you get Trevor Lawrence, this new coaching staff, some people that really haven't experienced this before trying to do it just like they did with the London trip.
So as far as this game, to me, there's two separate entities here. There's the personnel and the team that is the Seattle Seahawks. And the team that you're going to see on Sunday for the Seattle Seahawks, I'll be honest, it doesn't scare me. Like, on paper, they do not scare me. Now, DK Metcalf, of course he scares you. Tyler Lockett, of course he scares you. Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, like, they have names. They have household names, so don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, they have talented guys sprinkled on that team. But Geno Smith does not. Their running game does not scare me. So I'm not scared from, you know, being on paper who the Jaguars are playing. What I'm more worried about, though, is the other side of this, and it's getting your team ready to go after a bye week. It's getting your team ready to play in the West Coast. It's getting your offense ready to go in maybe a loud and hostile environment. Those are the things that I'm worried about more for this Jaguars team than actually the Seahawks themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of elements to this game. I think the biggest thing from a matchup standpoint, I kind of feel like their offense is in good shape on this game. I think what you saw in Seattle's defense was not really what everybody else has seen the entire year. Seattle's defense is leaky. Like, it's really not that good. Jamal Adams is not playing at a great level. They do have some named players, but they have given up a ton of yardage, a lot of points, and I think the offense of the Jags I have a lot more confidence in than I do the Seahawks offense, just if you were to take the two offenses. But the Jags defense isn't very good either, and certainly has given up its fair share. But the matchup that concerns me is those two guys on the outside versus Shaquille Griffin. I got confidence in him that he can stay with one of those guys. But what about Tyson Campbell? What about some of the backups? What do they do at that cornerback position? If you look at this game from a matchup standpoint, that's the matchup that could be exploited and maybe win the day for the Seahawks.
Yeah, and this has to be a coming out party, in my opinion, for K'Lavon Chaisson. Probably had his best game, his last game, but I think he can still improve on that because you're going against an offensive line right now that, once again, on paper, nothing special. What we saw against the Saints, nothing special. So, I think in terms of quarterback sacks this year, the Jaguars have not yet been able to reach expectations, and assume that they're going to stop the run game with Alex Collins, whoever the case may be, you're going to have Geno Smith in passing situations. And you're able to see what the Saints are able to do against that. You hope to see Josh Allen and K'Lavon Chaisson and company be able to kind of replicate what the New Orleans Saints did.
All right, we got Thursday Night Football coming up on ESPN 690, which means we have picks, and I think I'm still undefeated on that. Yes, indeed. Well, our golf pick shaping up. We'll probably give you an update on windy Bermuda on that. We have high school football tonight. We got Jags talk coming up. We got Florida, Georgia. Well, we have a lot to get to, and it's a fun time to be in Jacksonville talking sports, doing it right here with Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 live from String Sports Brewery. When we come back, the Jags roster, as I thought about it a little bit this morning, something stood out to me, and it's a positive thing. I want to see if Austin feels the same way. That's when we come back on ESPN 690 here on a Thursday edition of Action Sports Jacks.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
The strongest and most intense showers and thunderstorms are moving away. Still a few lingering scattered showers this afternoon into early this evening, with temperatures in the 70s, becoming partly cloudy overnight tonight, dropping into the upper 50s. And breezy for Friday, mix of clouds and sun with a few showers and highs in the mid-70s. I'm chief meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900.
It's a sale so big, it's been 4 decades in the making.
It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible 41st anniversary sale, going on now until November 30th.
All GIA certified loose diamonds, all designer settings, pendants, bracelets, earrings, engagement rings.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 41% off.
We've brought in extra inventory just for this sale.
For over 4 decades, families have been shopping at Beard's Diamonds for the absolute lowest prices. Now, to say thank you, everything in the store is discounted up to 41% 40% off.
Nobody beats Beards Diamonds prices.
If you're popping the question soon, celebrating a big anniversary, or even shopping early for the holidays,
Now you can go even bigger and save thousands.
Beards Diamonds will never be beat on price. Believe it.
Shop the largest inventory in North Florida at Never Seen Savings.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 41% off. But hurry, these savings will only last until November 30th.
Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Get back to high fives and family reunions. Get back to hugs and happy hour. Get back to game day and Sunday service. Get back to being Jacks. No matter how much we wish, we can't go back to the time before COVID. But we can reset by getting the vaccine. The vaccine is safe. It's effective. And the more you know, the more confident you will feel in your decision. So get the facts about the vax. Visit getthefaxjacks.org.
Hi there, I'm Mia. I'm Air.
Your air?
Yeah, I just got out of the lungs of someone smoking a cheap little cigar outside a bodega. Oh, it was so smoky in there. And where there's smoke, there's
fire.
Cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, little cigars might taste sweet, but they still kill. I'm supposed to be helping people, not unhelping them.
You mean hurting?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm a bit of an airhead.
Little cigars are just as dangerous as regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Nights of Lights dazzles with more than 3 million lights in the historic district of St. Augustine. Now imagine doubling those lights as they reflect off the water during your tour with Redboat Tours. Avoid downtown crowds by boarding at Beach's Restaurant Marina at 250 Volano Road. Then sit back and let Captain Tony and Miss Jennifer take you on a tour you'll never forget. Don't settle for imposters. Make no mistake, Redboat Tours is St. Augustine's only USA Today Reader's Choice Best Boat Tour 3 years running. Book your Nights of Lights tours now at redboattours.com.
Real-time, authentic conversations and a chance to win Florida Georgia tickets. How can you do that? Well, you download the Relevant app, RELEVNT. Relevant app is a new group messaging app that drives those real-time, authentic conversations. And this week, you have a chance to win Florida Georgia game tickets. You have to go to our ESPN 690 Vibe or go to the WAPE Vibe. Find clues how to win tickets to the game. But first things first, download the Relevant app, RELEVNT.
There's no way that's used. Get ready, because you're going to hear that a lot after you buy an amazing, like-new, pre-owned from our friends over at Arlington Toyota. Arlington's got 300 used available. All makes, all models. Plus, you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange program that comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Yeah, I think it's just knowing how to get back into it. Obviously, you never totally remove yourself because it's a long season, and you know we've gotten a lot of progress up to this point, a lot of good progress. So we got to keep building on that. But it is like I said before, you got to have a break. So I think just knowing how to snap back in, and when it's time to go to work, like when we clocked in on Monday, breaks over, like it's time to go. And all the guys have been great and getting back ready to play this weekend, and we got a really good game plan so far.
That is Trevor Lawrence, of course, talking this week about getting back to action. He's got to feel pretty good about himself, I would think, through these first 6 games and the progress that he has made. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane. We're live at String Sports Brewery here on a Thursday. Each and every Thursday, Jaguars All Access comes up at 7 o'clock. Shaq Griffin will join us, of course, spent a lot of time out in Seattle, now in Jacksonville. Austin, did you find it hard after a bye week to get back into it? Sometimes it take another day or two, or because I get what he's saying, you know, like a lot of times when you just keep going and going and going and going, you're in this rhythm and you're in this grind, and then when you sit back and like sit on the couch for a few hours or a day, or you get a day off, you're like, oh, I'm more tired than I thought. I don't want to get back in it tomorrow. You know, so
no,
how
for
was
sure.
that as a player when you'd have to kind of? It was an interesting way you put it, right? Snap back into it.
Yeah, you know, when you take, depending, and every team does this differently, but depending how many days you actually get off, and then obviously you have the weekend off as well. Yeah, that time coming back can be a difficult one, depending what practices are like. You know, I think if it's If it's later in the season and that bye week is more by necessity because you're just so banged up, you're so tired where you do need the rest and you take full advantage of that, compared to maybe being a little earlier on in the season where you're still feeling pretty good about where you're at in terms of your, where your body's at, I think it's a lot harder to come back from a bye week when it's early on in the season.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would get that too. I understand that. One last thought on what Trevor just said. How good does he feel, do you think? Like how not impressed with himself, but kind of maybe validated he is? This guy's got ultimate confidence. We talk about it. He's known he was going to be in the NFL probably since he was in ninth grade. It kind of feels that way. So to see what he did in the first couple of weeks, and let's just go the first 3 games versus the last 3, those are the stats that are out there that are really dynamically different. I would think he's got to be playing with a lot of confidence right now, don't you think?
Yeah, of course. I mean, coming off the first win in franchise history, being the first rookie ever to quarterback to win in London, like I'm sure he really cares about that stat. But let's keep talking about it. I'm sure he's all about those things. Yeah. So, I just think that his teammates obviously have bought in. That's the most important part of everything. And you see that in his play as well, where his play has progressively got better and better. So now I think it's, hopefully he can take that rest period that he just had on that bye week and not lose any of that and to continue to build and build.
Yeah, and it's the nature of the league, right? I mean, you can play 4 good games and then have like just an off game too. So it's not to say that he won't have a kind of a step backwards type of game at all this rookie year. That will probably happen at some point. Could this be one of those moments, given the fact that he was kind of in a bit of a rhythm and now he has to come back and maybe travel out west, travel to London before? Does that stuff catch up? Who knows? Maybe it's a matchup thing. Maybe he sees some different things from that Seattle defense he hasn't seen. Pete Carroll's been around it a long time. So it'll be interesting to watch that and when that happens, because I'm not convinced he's just going to play like this for the next 11 straight weeks. I think that's unrealistic. I think he will have a game or two. There might not be a 3-interception game. It might not be 14-33 like I think it was against Denver. But he is going to have a game where it's like, all right, can't wait to get to the next one, right?
Yeah. No, and I think with the Seattle game, I think confidence should be high for Trevor Lawrence because – once again, I'm not blown away by their secondary, really their defense in general. So I think there's going to be definitely points on that field that are ripe for the taking, whether it is with James Robinson, a heavy dose of the run game, or with Trevor Lawrence out of some play action. But I think this could be a game that, continues to build the confidence of Trevor Lawrence.
I got one more for you, just like a fact check type of thing. On what Trevor said in that soundbite. He said, I really like the game plan. He says that a lot. He's like, I like the game plan we have in there. Did you ever sit there in the room like on a Wednesday or Thursday as the game plan was being told to you on the defensive side of things? You're like, oh, my gosh, this ain't going to work.
Yeah, no, I can't say that I have. I mean, usually I feel like coaches have your best interest. I mean, I would pay cold, hard cash to see a quarterback come out, on a Thursday or on a Friday and say, I'll be honest, this game plan sucks. This could be a long game. But I don't think in the history of the NFL it's never been done before, and it's definitely not going to be done in Jacksonville. But yeah, I mean, it's usually, there is, I think the great coaches out there, there is some feedback from their players as well, where it's like, all right, this is what we're going to run, sealed case and delivered. Like sometimes coaches want to pick your brain like, hey, how do you feel about this? Or how do you feel about doing this week? And I think if you can pick the brain of some of your players and help formulate the proper game plan with them, as opposed to just showing them something, I think you got something there.
I was thinking, though, of this, and you weren't playing, but I go back to 2016 from a defensive standpoint, and when Aaron Rodgers comes to Jacksonville, and they're basically like, hey, well, we're really not going to go after Aaron Rodgers and rush and pin our ears back. We're going to kind of like, dance with the offensive line and keep him in the pocket. Like that. I wonder if people are like, what the hell are we doing that for? like, yeah, I get it, but let me go get him. Yeah. I would think maybe maybe some heads were being scratched a little bit on that game plan week.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, that was a pretty close game, wasn't it?
Well, it was. I'm just saying when the game plan is announced to you, right?
Oh, yeah,
when the plan, like I'm talking about Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not saying players would be right because it actually worked out. It was the smart thing to do. But I just wonder from a player perspective, especially a pass rusher perspective, you want me to do what?
No, I mean, I remember when we played in Green Bay against Aaron Rodgers, and I think that the game plan kind of called for what you saw when Green Bay played in Jacksonville. And it was, if you're going to rush the passer, it has to be very basic. We're not going to run a lot of games. We're not going to be doing a lot of speed rushes just because we got to collapse the pocket. We can't bend the corner and then have him step up and make a play. So that's kind of what we did as well. Now, when that was getting broken down to us, it was really one of the first times that at least me, being part of a defensive line, was asked to do that. I'm reminded of Michael Vick when we had to prep for him. We kind of had to do the same thing, but you got it for Michael Vick. Like, you kind of said your prayers before you went to bed the day before, playing the Eagles, because you knew Michael Vick was about the business. With Aaron Rodgers, it was like, he's fast, but, is he really going to take off for an 80-yard touchdown? Probably not. So there is a little ego that gets, that gets kind of input there in the game plan. But then at the same time, you see Aaron Rodgers, run around and create plays with his legs, and all of a sudden, throws a 70-yard dart to whoever. You kind of understood that, all right, maybe we should listen to our defensive coordinator because he seems to know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I would say most of the time if you execute that plan, it'll be pretty good. All right, here's my thought this morning, all right? I don't know why this came up to me this morning. But name the 4, what you would say are the pillar positions of a team. If you were going to draft as your, what do they say? What's the kind of the cliche positions?
Quarterback.
Yep.
So we're talking about the 4 most important positions in football?
Yeah.
Okay. Middle linebacker.
Okay.
Defensive tackle.
Okay.
And it's close between edge rush and left tackle, but now can you say offensive tackle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and that's okay. So that's interesting. You said linebacker and interior, and I don't disagree that those are important spots. But I don't think everybody. I guess I look at it more from if you got to go find in the draft, right? And you have a top 10 pick. Mm-hmm. Most people will say quarterback, of course, left tackle. But you're right. The right tackle has come into play now too. Mm-hmm. Pass rusher, and a lot of people say corner, like a shutdown corner or a really good corner. Mm-hmm. And again, not dismissing the other two. And I really think what you said about defensive tackle, our conversation about Jordan Davis yesterday, what the Jags had when they were good, I think should be more important and high on that list than people give it credit for. So if you take what I was thinking about is those 4 positions that everybody kind of says. Well, the Jags have their quarterback, right, of the future, at least for the next handful of years, barring this major relapse. It looks like he's going to trend in a direction where you can win a lot of football games with him. I think everybody would agree. It's still very early in the process, but very comfortable saying that as of now. The tackle spot is interesting. Cam Robinson's playing good football. They have Walker Little as a backup ready to go. They've invested in. Jawan Taylor, the book is not totally written on him. There's certainly inconsistencies. But I also think he's played pretty well at times. The offensive line can't be top 10 in rushing and top 10 in fewest sacks and hits allowed, and you say the right tackle's played awful.
Yeah.
And it's a relative position, too. How many good left and right tackles are there out there in football? That's debatable. So you go to the defensive side. They spent a lot of money on Shaq Griffin. I feel like Shaq's playing pretty well. He's going to be here for a few years at the very least. That, from a veteran standpoint, they invested in Tyson Campbell. Now, we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen anything that makes you feel, oh, they got their guy, right? This isn't like Jalen Ramsey that they drafted. So there's curiosity and questions, but they made an investment there. And then you go pass rush, and I can't even put Caleb Chase on in this because I think a lot of people think this is going to fizzle out. But Josh Allen is a good player. How good of a player he is? That's, he's still going to do more to get to this crazy Khalil Mack-ish, T.J. Watt, the old J.J. Watt, the Chandler Jones. He's not that guy. We'd be lying. Love Josh, but he's good. I'm not sure he's great, not yet. So you look at those positions. I was just thinking of them. I was like, oh, those positions that you'd like to cross off the board, the Jags can really cross them off the board. Are they perennial Pro Bowls, all-pro kind of guys? Not yet, but relative to the league and what you could have, I think they're probably in pretty good shape. How do you feel about it?
For this season or going forward in general?
Oh, I think this is the context of this is more going forward, right? And when you say going forward, what are we talking about? The next 3 to 5 years, where this team could go?
Yeah.
In year 3, they're not going to the Super Bowl next year. Nobody believes that. But by year 3, 4, 5, where can they go? Can they be in the postseason all the time? Can they make a run? I think that's more realistic. That you're asking at least. Do they have some of these pieces in place?
Yeah. So I think So let's break it down. So you're saying quarterback. Okay, obviously quarterback. It's a no-brainer. So you're saying offensive tackle, corner, and then edge rusher, right?
Yeah.
That's where we're at? Okay. So I think from, a left tackle or right tackle, okay, well, what do we know about Juwan Taylor right now? He's probably the weakest link of this offensive line. And, this could be the year that he gets a contract extension. Are they going to do it? Well, definitely not. So then what is the plan going to be at right tackle after this season? Are you going to stick with Juwan Taylor? Going to address that in the draft? You going to do something else? From the
He's
left,
got another year, by the way, just heads up. He's got another year on that rookie deal.
No, I get that. But, usually if you have a tackle that's playing at a very high level, now would be you start talking about extension.
True.
That's not going on right now, is it?
No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, so what is going to be the plan with Juwan Taylor then? Okay. From the left tackle spot, Cam Robinson is exceeding expectations for sure, but he's on a franchise tag. And you have a guy in Walker Little that we're not really sure where Walker Little's at right now because he is playing some special teams. Now, he was coming off, I think, of the COVID thing a couple weeks ago, but he's playing some special teams. But we don't know what to go off of Walker Little. All we know about Walker Little right now is what we saw in the preseason, which was okay, and he's really good at one-on-ones during training camp. That's what we know about Walker Little right now. From the cornerback position, how confident are you right now in Tyson Campbell to say we are set at cornerback?
No, I would be more – if I were to make this defense, I would go to Shaq, who you signed, I think, to a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, so over the next couple years. That's what I would go to Shaq more. I'm not comfortable in Tyson Campbell.
Well, no, and I get that. And, if cornerback is an important position, don't get me wrong. But just because the Rams have Jalen Ramsey didn't mean that the Arizona Cardinals absolutely ate them for breakfast, through the air because A.J. Green was available. If you're going to cover DeAndre Hopkins, there's other receivers out there too. There are the A.J. Greens. There are the Rondale Moore. So it just takes more than one cornerback. So, I think from Shaq Griffin, you're definitely comfortable. But how do you feel about Tyson Campbell going forward? We don't know right now. We need to see better play in terms of him getting his head around and him getting some confidence. So then from the edge rusher position, obviously you have Josh Allen. You get the sense that Josh Allen wants to be here. You can hang your hat on that. Kayvon Chason slowly starting to pick up his play a little bit. But how confident are you right now in Kayvon Chason going forward? If the season was to end today, would you say, okay, edge rusher, don't need to address it at all because we're good with Josh Allen and Kayvon Chason? I think if the season ended today, you couldn't honestly feel good about saying that.
All right, let's keep this up for just another couple minutes because I like what you said there. I think all good points. And so what do the Jags have to do in those positions and maybe just a couple of other ones to add into to really feel good about moving forward? We talked about Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 here on a Thursday from String Sports Brewery in Springfield. Come on out. Brent buys a beer a little bit later.
Hey. Real-time, authentic conversations and a chance to win Florida Georgia tickets. How can you do that? Well, you download the Relevant app, RELEVNT. Relevant app is a new group messaging app that drives those real-time, authentic conversations. And this week, you have a chance to win Florida Georgia game tickets. You have to go to our ESPN 690 Vibe or go to the WAPE Vibe. Find clues how to win tickets to the game. But first things first, download the Relevant app, RELEVNT.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. You're not alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
One of the best games of the year is on Thursday Night Football.
Get ready for a terrific matchup.
Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
There he is.
Take on the electric Kyler Murray and the undefeated Arizona Cardinals.
Wow, what a catch!
In a battle of NFL elites.
Caught for the touchdown. Unbelievable.
Packers, Cardinals, tonight at 7:30 Eastern on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. NFL Network and Amazon simulcast subject to change.
See, boss, look at all these great masks, and they got them marked down for their after Halloween sale. These make great disguises for breaking into houses.
Oh, yeah. It's perfectly normal for a big guy in a Spider-Man mask to be lurking around the neighborhood.
I wouldn't be lurking.
Whatever. Just make sure you don't go near any safe touch houses. Those things aren't safe for us crooks.
Hey, before I forget, that house we've been casing, When are those folks going out of town again?
Black Friday. And since they don't have Safe Touch security, we don't have to worry.
Yeah, no Safe Touch means no two-way communicator or crash and smash technology, no video monitoring,
and no headaches for me.
Here, look. What do you think of my new mask?
It's definitely an improvement.
Thanks.
You find another house without Safe Touch and the mask is on me.
Consider it done.
Perks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's family feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Is your home not feeling very new anymore? Sick of that pink bathroom tile, popcorn ceilings, a stove older than you are? Whether it's repairs or reno, finance it smart with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, where you can borrow up to 90% of your home's appraised value. You've got good taste, but your block counters ain't cheap. So get to work and open a Honeydew HELOC with 1-to-1 Financial. When you do, we'll send you a free handyman tool set to get started. Apply online at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Temperatures keep climbing and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Welcome to a place where everyone deserves to be better protected, where technology has your back, where you can have better protection and keep more money in your pocket, where you can have protection for your car, your home, your phone, and even your digital identity. Welcome to a place where your entire life can be better protected. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
The NFL is on. Key, Jay, and now Max Kellerman.
Here's a guy that you drafted in the first round that you think could potentially be the successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future, but could he at least be a damn backup?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Hey, we're getting ready for the holidays, of course. You're going to break out those Christmas decorations. Then later after that, you're going to put them back in. You're going to put it on the corner of your garage, and you're going to stack the boxes, the trees, the whatever, ornaments. Well, how about you just make a change now? Get them off the floor of your garage. Give Easy Garage Solutions a call. That's what we did. So no more boxes, Christmas decorations, old clothes, whatever it might be in your garage, things that you just accumulate over the years. We now have it hanging from the ceiling in our garage. So more floor space. We have the monkey bar technology. We hang the bikes. That creates a ton of floor space. Beach chairs, lawn equipment, all the rest. So you can do so much more with your garage, like park your cars in it or anything else that you want to do. Maybe make it a man cave of sorts. Easy Garage Solutions. Shelving, overhead storage for boxes and bins. Cabinets and flooring available as well. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Hey, what's up? It's Austin Lane. Check out Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to String Sports Brewery here in Springfield. And, the day actually looks like it's getting a bit better. But we might have to sacrifice one rainy day here. It's been beautiful over the last few weeks. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend, I think, unless something has changed. But the temperature should be fantastic. So I guess sacrifice a tough rainy day here on a Thursday for better weather ahead. I can do that, Austin Lane.
Yeah, it's all good. It's not like we're doing the show outside or anything, so I don't care about a little rain. Never hurt anybody.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, we got so many shows to do and write some stuff and this and that. It was a nice day to actually not even be tempted to go outside and do anything because it was pretty bad. We do have some high school football tonight. I think things, according to Mike Burrish, are going to leave the area in time for that. They did have the concert down at Florida, Georgia, the bash, the party canceled because of the weather. But, again, we're heading into a really nice weekend weather-wise. Looks like 70 degrees, might even dip into the upper 40s at night and in the early morning on the weekend. So should be really nice. Here in Jacksonville for the big event, Florida and Georgia game on Saturday, 3:30 on CBS 47. Coverage all day on CBS 47, starting at 2. Coverage all day on ESPN 690 for college football, and that starts at 10 a.m. I want to wrap up our thought on the build of the Jags kind of thing, of where they are in those critical positions. And I agree with you, right? You can always look for upgrades. The one nice thing is I think at the quarterback spot, you don't have to wonder about an upgrade. Right now, you got a guy that you think is going to be pretty darn good. He does some special things. I don't know if he'll be the best quarterback in the league for the next 15 years. I'm not saying that. But you feel good about where he's at. You got a guy like Josh Allen that, listen, maybe outside of a handful of players in the league, I think a lot of people would sign up for Josh Allen. I think he's got a really good skill set. You need more at that position to complement him. At the tackle spot, I think you have guys and people that you like. We don't know the whole story on them, to your point. And then in the cornerback position, again, they have people. They have one guy playing pretty well. Will he even be here 5 years from now? I think that's a fair question. Tyson Campbell, what could he turn into? So you could elevate those positions anyway. But my point being, they've invested. They already have some guys that they like that have performed pretty well. The story out of that building is Cam Robinson's playing really good football for them right now in this franchise tag. So those are nice things to at least start with for the Jags. Where do they go over these next couple of years? I think you brought up a really good point. And I don't know if middle linebackers it. I mean, if you look at the linebacker spot, I think a lot of people like Miles Jack overall. And it'll be interesting to see how well he plays the second half of this year. Now he's got the green dot off him once again, if that's a factor. But you said defensive tackle, Austin, and that defensive tackle is one that doesn't get talked about enough because you then let the outside guys do their work. You clog the middle in the run game. I mean, the Marcel Dariuses, the Calais Campbells of the world, potentially a guy like Jordan Davis, who we'll see on Saturday here in Jacksonville. That is a massive upgrade the Jags could get. I like Devon Hamilton as a player, but he's not that guy, right? He hasn't developed into that guy yet here in year 2. Malcolm Brown isn't doing that in terms of collapsing the middle of offensive lines in that pocket for the quarterback. So I would say defensive tackle in that middle spot, to your point, is high on my list. And then, obviously, Urban Meyer said this so many times, and he's got us talking about it all the time. They need more speed, and they need speed on the outside at the wideout position. I think those are 2 high priority points to elevate this football team over the next couple years.
Yeah, as I look at the priorities, yeah, I mean, there's definitely still a lot of them with this team. As far as tackle is concerned, I mean, we'll see what happens with Walker Little. Do you let Cam Robinson walk and then do you start Walker Little? That could be the play. But at the same time, I mean, if you would have told me to start the season off that the Jaguars have now played in 6 games and Cam Robinson has yet to give up a quarterback sack, I would say that's pretty good for Cam Robinson. I would not have expected that from Cam Robinson. So I wonder what they're going to do with him. I think, from the cornerback, you still got to address it because we've seen it on the field and it's definitely not good enough. So whether Tyson Campbell can come into his own and, play a better brand, that's fine, but you still need depth. You still need a nickel. You still need a lot of things in that secondary. So I'm taking a look at that. Definitely, a defensive tackle would be nice. A wide receiver would definitely be nice. There's still a lot of needs on this team, and we'll see how this draft shakes out. But I think if you have a once in a lifetime player like a defensive tackle maybe in this draft coming up, if you can take him, then you take Jordan Davis. But if there's a speedster out there at wide receiver, you see what Jamar Chase can do for a team as well. So there's definitely a lot of need going into this 2022 draft.
Yeah, of course, it all depends on who's out there in free agency, right? How deep the draft is in certain spots. Is there a Jamar Chase, game-changing guy for your quarterback? Is Jordan Davis still on the board whenever you pick? So I think you're right. I think, listen, the Jags were 1-15. They're 1-5. There's a lot of positions they can get better at. What would you prioritize is the question. And I think you can make the case that you could go outside those top 4 draftable positions. You can make the case you still would go there because another pass rusher wouldn't hurt, another corner probably wouldn't hurt at this stage. But you might go in a different situation, too, like outside speed and defensive tackle. We'll be back. We're coming up at 4 o'clock from Spring Sports Brewery right here on ESPN 690. Florida, Georgia, memorabilia value off some of the historic plays. Where does that sit? We talk about it when we come back on ESPN 690.
Once-in-a-lifetime savings.
Before the holidays?
It's never been done before.
Beards Diamond's incredible 41st anniversary sale.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 41% off.
Believe it.
But it's only happening till November 30th.
If you're getting married, celebrating an anniversary, or shopping early for the holidays,
you do not want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime sale.
Beards Diamonds always has the largest inventory in North Florida. But now there's even more.
Designers have sent their best stuff, especially for this sale.
Loose diamonds, mounted diamonds, diamond earrings, necklaces, and more.
All on sale up to 41% off.
Beards Diamonds has been family owned and operated in Jacksonville for over 41 years. And to say thank you, they're discounting everything in the store up to 41% off.
A sale so big, it's never been done before because Beards Diamonds will never be beat on price.
Beards Diamonds 41st anniversary sale, now through November 30th.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road in a new 2021 Toyota. So rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Real-time, authentic conversations and a chance to win Florida, Georgia tickets. How can you do that? Well, you download the Relevant app, RELEVNT. Relevant app is a new group messaging app that drives those real-time, authentic conversations. And this week, you have a chance to win Florida, Georgia game tickets. You have to go to our ESPN 690 Vibe or go to the WAPE Vibe. Find clues how to win tickets to the game. But first things first, download the Relevant app, RELEVNT.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar & Levine studios. Anajar & Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Yes. Yes, it does. you're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Cardinals are still perfect at 7-0. The Packers have won 6 straight after losing their opener. They'll meet in Glendale tonight. Aaron Rodgers' drama-filled summer seems long behind him. Or is it? ESPN's Adam Schefter on KJ and Max.
When you are winning in the NFL, most everybody's having the time of their life. Everybody in Arizona is having the time of their life. I still am not convinced that anything's different with the situation, and it's tabled for this season.
Schefter says no Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the Packers tonight. DeAndre Hopkins, though, is expected to play for Arizona. The NFL is making changes in the Rooney Rule to encourage diversity, equity, and inclusion in hiring around the league. All teams will now be required to interview at least 2 outside minority candidates for GM and coordinator positions. Head coaching vacancies already had that requirement. College football tonight. Troy plays at number 24 Coastal Carolina, 7:30 Eastern for the coverage on ESPN2.
Sign up with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, and use code CJR to get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs this week with your first deposit. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Yeah, it's always a challenge when you're playing a great player, no matter what position he is, but especially at safety, just because there's so much freedom. You know, you can roam around and kind of go wherever before the snap, and then they eventually got to get to their spot, but it can mess with you a little bit as a quarterback. So I think that's just something that you know he's going to do, and you see it on film, and you're prepared for that. But you always have tips on things, and they're doing their best to take away all those and change them up every game, but we're doing our best to figure them out.
That is Trevor Lawrence, mostly talking about Jamal Adams. Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery in Springfield. Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz along here on a Thursday as well on ESPN 690. Hey, real quick thought. I read something today on Jamal Adams. I think it was, who is that? Is that Barnhart on Bill Barnhart on ESPN? That kind of stated that Jamal Adams isn't really playing that good. I know he's a dynamic player, but it's not that he's been a big difference maker for them, Austin. Yeah. Does that surprise you?
It does a little bit because the guy can do a lot of things, but when you don't, when it's just a safety and the secondary is leaving you out to dry a little bit, like that doesn't really surprise me that much. Like, yeah, Jalen Ramsey's a fantastic cornerback. It's a definitely different position. But, like, he's also surrounded by some great talent, too, on defense. And they haven't really lived up to expectations this year. But, like, I think Jamal Adams is a great player on a pretty bad defense right now.
Yeah, it's tough to do that, right? When you got 11 guys, it's tough to be a really great player on a bad defense and show out. Mm-hmm. Now, some can do it from some positions, but a lot of communication in that back end to be able to do it. Hey, let's bring in Morton Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs right now. I think he's on his way to St. Simon's Island. Danny Warfel's Desire Cup, Desire Street Ministries is an unbelievable thing that Danny Warfel started years ago, really back in the New Orleans area. And obviously the legendary Florida Gator QB has had this event at TBC Sawgrass in the past. I'm assuming you guys are at Sea Island, or are you somewhere else, Martin Buckley?
What's up, man? Yeah, we're up here in Sea Island. They wanted to have it back at Sawgrass, but this time of year they overseed. So, a lot of the people wanted to play the stadium course there. No offense to the Valley, but we're up here in Sea Island playing the course you and I played years ago up here. Yeah, that course is actually one of my favorite courses in the land. It's a great place. So, and they've got a couple courses there now too, at least maybe 2, if not even a third, up that way. So, go ahead. Yeah, we're playing the C course, but what's the other one? The Lodge? Plantation, I think. Plantation, that's what it is. Yep. Yeah. That's what I'm here. I'm here to help you in your golf game out, quite frankly, Martin Buckley. Thank you. We call Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs America's guest. Call him 3 different times a week, and he's either at a concert with somebody or playing golf somewhere. But here, you're on ESPN 690 to help us
I want to know the value of some of these guys in this Florida-Georgia game over the years. Warfel comes to mind in the memorabilia business. Herschel Walker, does he lead the way? Like, is Herschel Walker, like, out of all the greats, is he the number one? I guess Tebow, right? I guess
Yep.
Emmitt Smith. Who am I leaving out? Like, is that like, if I had to pick three, then would it be Tebow, Herschel Walker, Emmitt Smith?
So a good way to do it, I think, is if you said three on the Gator side, it'd be the Heisman Trophy winners. So it'd be Tebow, Warfel, and Spurrier. Emmitt too, but that was kind of before like Florida's rise. He played 3 years. Like, a lot of the old school Gator fans love Emmitt, but a lot of the newer guys are more, Timmy and Danny, and then Steve has such a legacy there. Not that Emmitt doesn't, but it's different. The field's named after him and all. And then on the Georgia side, I would say Herschel, Coach Dooley, and then who sells a lot, like who's really popular, is Aaron Murray.
It's interesting.
Aaron Murray's really popular. David Green a little bit, not as much. Hines Ward a little bit, but it's funny. A lot of the new school people, kind of like what I was saying about Emmitt, like a lot of times people will see the Hines Ward stuff and they'll say, he went to Georgia? They don't even know.
Yeah, I would see that. What about Terrell Davis or something?
Terrell Davis a little bit. I think a lot of the ladies like Aaron Murray, so he crosses over from Georgia fans into the lady fans too.
Martin, how big would a guy like like Julio Jones be?
Yeah, good call.
Because obviously playing for the Falcons as well.
Well, Julio, he was Bama.
No,
Right?
AJ. You're thinking AJ Green.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking AJ Green. Hello, yeah, AJ Green. Sorry, yeah.
AJ sells pretty good. He sells all right. It's really funny with college players. What we like, no matter the school, it seems like the Heisman Trophy winners and the legendary coaches always kind of lead the way. And then, believe it or not, like sometimes even the really, really good NFL players, if they didn't have like a huge, giant, massive mark, they sell, but not as quick as you think they would, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Trevor had the national championship, but no Heisman, so his Clemson stuff sells pretty good, but not amazing. Like, it doesn't fly like a Heisman Trophy winner stuff would.
So you got to be in that club, really, right? I mean, you got to be in an exclusive club, whether it's in the NFL, maybe a Super Bowl, that matters. Heisman Trophy matters in the college game, and then obviously if you're just this huge athlete anyway, that really transcends, then maybe you also go. So it's fascinating from that. How about the plays, like the big plays in this series? That Munson would call for Georgia. You name it.
Why you gotta bring up old stuff? Why you gotta talk about old stuff, man?
Belden to Teal. You name it. Do you have that? Will those plays be signed? Run, Lindsey, run.
Run, Lindsey, run. Yeah, we're actually gonna get Lindsey Scott to sign a stack of Run, Lindsey, run photos. It's him going down the sideline, and it's moments always sell because people either grew up, remember watching it, and we've talked about this before. Whether it's Dwight Clark's the catch, the shot heard around the world. Shoot, even with the World Series up, Sid Bream's slide. We sell so many of those photos because everyone remembers it and they can hear it. So, yeah, absolutely. Run, Lindsey, run's probably the most famous, I would say. There's a good image we have of Tebow breaking Herschel's rushing record for touchdowns. That one sells pretty well as well.
How about the timeouts the rush on the field by Georgia?
We've never done anything like that, but that would be I should get Coach Rick to say that. I'll tell you a funny story. I told Urban Meyer, I said that that following year, that's when Meyer used up his 2 timeouts. You remember that?
Yeah.
He had all the timeouts, and I said, after the national championships and the SECs, of course, I said my favorite moment in Florida-Georgia rivalry history was you burning those timeouts after they ran on the field. And he stopped signing, and he looked at me, and he said, I only wish I had more.
Well, he brought it up yesterday at his news conference, of course, as his favorite moment. But, I do wonder.
That's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah, so, I mean, he still had, he kind of gave that look like, oh, yeah, I kind of do wish I had more. He didn't say it, but like that to you, like he did to you. But you almost wonder, and I don't know, I don't remember right when I got here, by the way, that was my first year of covering Florida, Georgia, was the timeouts, because the previous year had been the rush on the field. And so, and by the way, think about some of the players in those games, right? Tebow, Stafford, Noshawn Moreno, A.J. Green,
Brandon
all the
Spike,
great Gators. I
Freddie
mean, really just loaded with good players, of course. And Urban was coaching the Florida side of things. But I wonder if if you ever do a signing of, down the road with Urban, I mean, would it have value to have a picture of him in a timeout and him signing that year, those timeouts, even though it's not even a play, really?
Oh, absolutely. That would be a great idea. I mean, if you could get a photo of him flashing the timeout single, especially the second one, because if I remember it, I think he had like a little smirk on his face after he dropped the second one, and then you had him, put sign it and then put timeout, and then the score of the game. People love that stuff. People go crazy for like anything different, separates yourself from the pack, kind of. They've seen all the signed helmets in footballs. That's a pretty good idea, man. I might have to cut you in on that. Give you a couple percentage points.
A couple.
Martin, when we tune into the game Saturday, I mean, Florida, they probably got some first-round talent, obviously, and you look at Georgia, and a guy I'm be watching a lot, we've been talking about, is Jordan Davis. From a perspective of what you do, in terms of how valuable an autograph or a jersey could be, Jordan Davis, obviously, he's a giant amongst men, but he plays a position going forward in the NFL that's not the sexiest position, right? He's like a nose tackle. Do you think just kind of his story, how dominant he is, would something like a Jordan Davis autograph or jersey, is that going to sell right away, or does he have to kind of play into that in the NFL?
Yep. You always ask good questions, man. You answered your own question. That was amazing. That's exactly right, Austin.
Okay.
He's an absolute stud, but that position, people for wall space, right, they're not going to probably throw up a jersey of his. Now, if he gets like an iconic, play or has a, just an amazing hit or there's a great image, people might do that. But that position outside, like I think we talked about it, quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, those kind of glam positions, those, even the first round overall guys, they sell, but in a very, very small little space. There's not like, it's not like gangbusters like the other guys we mentioned.
Martin, this is Casey. I just wanted to ask you, with obviously the IP graphers have been able to do college athletes as they are currently in college for as long as that's been. You guys have had not necessarily been able to do signings with them. Spencer Rattler obviously does the national. How does that change what you'll be able to do moving forward with current college athletes?
Yeah, man, it's been really cool. It was a very funny feeling early on, because forever we haven't been able to do those autograph signings. And I can now say that the last week I've been working out a deal to do a signing with Anthony Richardson. It's totally on the up and up. Everything's fine. The university knows. He has representation that handles it. It's kind of a nice feeling to, just be able to reach out and say, hey, we're interested in doing a few hundred pieces. And like you said, some of the in-person guys can go out and, throw a couple bucks at some guys and get some things done. But, we're excited for it. We're excited to have Richardson be our first guy. We think he's going to be, a force to be reckoned with in the future. So it's definitely a game changer, though.
Martin Buckley with us from Palm Beach Autographs. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. Florida-Georgia game about 48 hours away, less than that now. I want to ask you a World Series question coming up in a moment, but just to follow up on that, I think I was watching Real Sports the other day, and they did like an NIL story. JT Daniels has an NIL deal. Might have several of them, but he has one like with Zaxby's up there in the area. Yeah, so he gets I think part of the story was I think he gets $500 a month to use at Zaxby's, and my guess is he takes. My guess he takes a lot of the offensive linemen out. Like the question was is that enough? Does that go far? He's like, well, it depends who you bring out. My guess is if he takes Jordan Davis out, that probably lasts about an hour. But that shows you kind of where the world is right now. J.C. Daniels, who, by the way, hasn't even been playing the last couple of weeks.
But see, I think it also begs the question, though, Brent, of what will these NIL agreements look like going forward for quarterbacks? Because you saw the Clemson quarterback. I'm not even going to pronounce his name because I'm going to butcher it, and I don't want to do that. DJ, yeah. But you see DJ, like, I mean, he gets, some of the biggest endorsements ever. I mean, he's in, like, the Nissan commercial, and he's not playing, up to par. Spencer Rattler's another guy who made a lot of money and, hasn't really been producing and essentially got benched. I really wonder what it looks like now, because the quarterback's the sexy position. I get all of that, but companies don't want to invest all this money in you if you're not going to be playing.
You know what it is, Austin? I think, and Martin, you can jump in on this, but I think it's a little bit, from a college athlete standpoint, to Austin's point, I think it's a little bit like NASCAR. Like, if you put, you're banking on that guy getting a victory lane or crashing out, so you get a lot of attention. And I'm not saying you want the quarterback to crash out, but my point is, you don't really know. Like, you're not buying into a known thing. It's a risky deal, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we've seen it with the two guys you mentioned. King obviously got a bunch of deals. The kid down from Miami, he's done for the year, right?
Yeah, I think he's done for the year. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, remember when we first talked about this? The people that are still crushing it are primarily the females that are really dominating social media.
True.
So Austin makes a great point. That quarterback position, it sure is sexy. Casey made a great point. Spencer Rattler was at the National, and he was charging. Well, he wasn't charging, but the promoter was getting $125 an autograph. Guess how much Barry Sanders was charging for an autograph at the same show?
Oh man,
$125.
Wow, same
so
price.
You could get Spencer. Yeah, same price.
Wow.
I mean,
by the way, half the kids there, half the people there that are paying $125 probably had never even heard of Barry Sanders.
True.
Dude, yeah, who's that guy?
It's a crazy world.
That little guy.
Well, I hope you have fun up there at Danny Warfel's event, Desire Street Ministries. Check it out, and he does a fantastic job. But before I let you go, we got the Braves, obviously some regional attention. Got the Astros, 1-1 in the World Series. Who over the next week, is there a player that can really raise the value of memorabilia, or will it be a potential play like we've talked about, Sid Bream or Shot Heard Around the World, something like that, that gets the most dollars down the road? It could Altuve, could Correa, could one of them?
Jacques Peterson pearl necklaces.
Maybe Jacques Peterson.
Yes, exactly. Like, that's the thing. If there's a monumental home run, a monumental play, anything crazy like that, or if somebody just has a absolute dominant performance and finishes out the series and has just some crazy 4-game stretch and an amazing MVP performance, you'll see a big elevation. I mean, honestly, I'm pulling for the Braves because of the regional side of it. Braves fans are fired up. It's been a long time. Astros fans are – I think this is good for baseball that the Astros are there, because it might kind of put to rest the scandal that they went through a little bit, not entirely, but – they kind of did this one on their own merit. But from a business standpoint, it would definitely be better for the Braves to win in a hot market for sure.
Really? That's interesting. Yeah, well, I would suspect that. I think a guy like Freddie Freeman, I don't know if he does much in the memorabilia market, but obviously he's beloved. He's a big-time guy. But, you just brought something up. See, like, Eddie Rosario's been unbelievable. Like, he's put up incredible numbers. I just think if he continues to do it, and he's named the NLCS MVP and the World Series MVP, does his value really skyrocket? Are people going to be buying Eddie Rosario things? Or does it have to be a guy like Freeman that is a big name that then goes on a tier, wins the MVP of the World Series, and then his value really goes up?
Yes. So it'll sell initially, like in the hot market, but then it'll slow right down. But, Freddie almost kind of has like that chipper quality to him, where it'll like kind of send him to the next level. Fans love him, but like it could just elevate his price so much more. But whoever wins the MVP and whichever team wins the World Series, is the key players are going to get probably deals from Fanatics right out of the gate, and their stuff's going to be a lot of money. It doesn't matter what sport in that hot market, they're going to thrive and go gangbusters on the MVP and then the players that contributed, the starters primarily for team signed items.
I don't know why I love this stuff so much, but every time we keep you longer than I was planning on keeping you. We love talking to you, Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs. But then I come up with like more and more questions. Like I'm very inquisitive about this stuff. So I've got one last one to end it. I promise. You make me think.
I got time for one more, Brent. I got time for one more.
You make me think. What is the most popular memorabilia sport? If you had to categorize it by sport, is it baseball because of the romanticism?
Yep, I'd say baseball because of that. Right now, though, the hottest right now is probably, believe it or not, basketball because of the international market that comes into play. And so that's why we're seeing this massive, huge prices on Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, everybody, all the international players. Their stuff sells like crazy. But baseball, because of the longevity, and I think at least here in America, like you said, romanticism is a good word for it. But believe it or not, right now, the really, really hot prices in cards and memorabilia is, for instance, not that long ago, we were selling Jordan jerseys for, $5,000 framed up. They're $15,000, $20,000 now. He's alive well in Jupiter, Florida.
Wow.
How about that? That's great stuff. Hey, Martin Buckley, appreciate it, man. Enjoy the weekend. Hope the family's doing well. Thanks for jumping in for a few.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good one.
All right, that's Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs. You know who digs this conversation? Not just me, Austin Lane. I know you like it too.
Yeah.
Casey.
Yeah.
Casey loves this kind of conversation. Casey knows this world a bit.
Yeah, and he's spot on, by the way, with the obviously it's his job, but the World Series MVP stuff, he's right on. Hot, right off the market. When Boston won the last time, I had quite a few Steve Pierce World Series balls that were gone pretty quick because he
really,
won the, yeah.
Yeah, because he did. Yeah, he had. I had never even heard of Steve Pierce before that year.
Exactly. So not that I need to echo what Martin said, but he's spot on with that for
All
sure.
Right, so you've chased autographs for a while in the college years too.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a guy. You're probably not old enough, but is there a guy that you got early on that all of a sudden has taken up? Like, did you get Altuve, say, when nobody knew who Altuve was, or something like that? Is there one that comes to mind like that?
Well, I mean, we can go with Altuve. The first year he got called up when he was a rookie, yeah, he signed a lot at the Trop, and
nobody knew who he was, right? And nobody knew, and now you take a look at Altuve, and he's rewritten the history books in postseason baseball.
Yeah, I mean, and it's always one of those things where you wish you would known because, I mean, we could have got a lot more Altuve than we did, but no, he signed a lot when they first came to the Trop.
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
that's a good
you
point.
say that about a lot of things, but yeah, Altuve is a good example. Correa is another example. Honestly, it's ironic, but a lot of those Astros guys, because they were spring training in Kissimmee for a bit, and then they had minors here, and Bregman, Correa, Altuve, Springer, who's not with them anymore, but we have gotten as in the other autographers that I know, we've gotten our fair share of those guys before they got big.
And that's cool. And by the way, I bet there are a lot of Braves like this too because they rebuilt that Braves system. I don't know about a lot, but there might be a couple of them like that. And listen, if you're the Astros now, their names are littered all over the record books. You can hate them as much as you want, but their run over the last 5 years is unbelievable. And so that whole group now has set, like, they're in the conversation, like top 5 in home runs and games played and this and that. And so I would suspect that if you have anything, it's probably got some value to it.
I'm just in shock of how much Michael Jordan's still selling for, man.
It is amazing. By the way, did that surprise you? The basketball is so hot right now. The industry itself is hot right now. Anyway, that is the thing that just boggles my mind. Mm-hmm. Is that I used to do this when I was 12 years old and ride to the store and go get Ken Griffey Jr. card and pack some baseball cards. And it's kind of like wrestling in that sense to me, Austin, where like I didn't think wrestling would still be big when I'm in my mid-40s. I didn't think collecting baseball cards with all the technology and everything else would still be a big thing, or at least memorabilia, this big. And it seems like it's hit a whole new level. Casey tells us all about it all the time.
Yeah, it's insane. Casey, what do you think a Larry Bird jersey goes for these days? Maybe like 2 for $20? 3 for 20?
I think 2 for 20. You should probably jump on that. If there's a Christmas
special going on,
I would jump on those if you can get them 2 for 20.
Yeah, I bet 2 for 20.
Especially, it might even be less after Tim Duncan was voted ahead of him.
Yeah, like Green's going with anything anyway. It's probably 2 for 20. That's cool.
We got to take a break. We come back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Florida State has a huge game this weekend against Clemson. Could this be a program change-around kind of win if the Noles could get it, even if Clemson isn't, well, the Clemson of the last 6 or 7 years? We'll go FSU report. We come back. We're live at String Sports Brewery here in Springfield. It's Florida-Georgia week here in Jacksonville. Jags are going to Seattle. We have Jaguars All Access tonight at 7 o'clock live on Fox 30. Shaq Griffin will join us from here at Strings each and every Thursday as well. So come on by. Say hello. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
The strongest and most intense showers and thunderstorms are moving away. Still a few lingering scattered showers this afternoon into early this evening, with temperatures in the 70s, becoming partly cloudy overnight tonight, dropping into the upper 50s. And breezy for Friday, mix of clouds and sun with a few showers and highs in the mid-70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
Can health insurance be a doorway to a healthier life? To yoga classes? To nutrition classes? To nurses you don't need an appointment to see? Or even community specialists who give you access to helpful resources? It can. Our Florida Blue Centers offer all that and a whole lot more. All you have to do is walk through the door. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
The Florida Forum Speaker Series, brought to you by the Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital, is underway. Don't miss Major General Charles F. Bolden Jr., a retired Marine officer, astronaut, and former NASA administrator, on November 17th, and four-time Super Bowl champion and broadcaster Terry Bradshaw on January 20th, 2022. The series takes place at the Times Union Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today at thefloridaforum.com. The Florida Forum has contributed more than $9.2 million to Wolfson Children's Hospital of Jacksonville.
The Center for Health and Sports Medicine delivers an individualized 360-degree approach to your health, providing a whole-person approach to primary care and sports medicine. With primary care and sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, the sports performance lab, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art wellness center, all under one roof, they'll work to maximize your health by creating a foundational focus on physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. The MD VIP program provides even more benefits, like appointment guarantees and after-hour care. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Hey, this is Grace Gosted. I'm a singer-songwriter, and like many, I've been traumatized by years of bullying. You're ugly. You're stupid. You're gay. You're worthless. Bullying causes real harm and can result in severe long-term depression, anxiety, addiction, and even self-harm. I created the Black Box Project for anyone who has ever felt different for any reason. Go to theblackboxproject.org to help you take the first step to healing. You are not alone.
Real-time, authentic conversations and a chance to win Florida-Georgia tickets. How can you do that? Well, you download the Relevant app, RELEVNT. Relevant app is a new group messaging app that drives those real-time, authentic conversations. And this week, you have a chance to win Florida-Georgia game tickets. You have to go to our ESPN 690 Vibe or go to the WAPE Vibe. Find clues how to win tickets to the game. But first things first, download the Relevant app, RELEVNT.
Nights of Lights dazzles with more than 3 million lights in the historic district of St. Augustine. Now imagine doubling those lights as they reflect off the water during your tour with Redboat Tours. Avoid downtown crowds by boarding at Beach's Restaurant Marina at 250 Volano Road. Then sit back and let Captain Tony and Miss Jennifer take you on a tour you'll never forget. Don't settle for imposters. Make no mistake, Redboat Tours is St. Augustine's only USA Today Reader's Choice Best Boat Tour 3 years running. Book your Nights of Lights tours now at redboattours.com.
Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, Tundras, and more. When you're ready to buy a new Toyota, you've got to get to Arlington Toyota. At Arlington Toyota, they've got 300 new Toyotas available, plus interest rates as low as 0% on over 10 new Toyota models. 0%. Plus, you get 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And every new car purchase gets a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/November for full details.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Last year's situation was so unique in itself, and there's a lot of emotion. When you prepare for a game, and it's both sides. Everybody wanted to play the game, and there's emotional comments that get made and all of that. But everybody's passionate about what we do, and it's one of the reasons his passion that he has for his program and his players. That shows up evident. That's why they've had the success that they've had. My passion for this program and the people that are in it and around it I've got that too. So that was one of those things that it was a unique situation, but it's nothing that ever carries over.
That's Mike Norvell, Florida State football coach, feeling pretty good about his squad right now, coming off an easy win over UMass, which is the way it should be. At least they didn't have to struggle through that one. By the way, last week, Casey said 35.5, I think it was. I don't know who took it. I didn't.
I took the overall. I took that all day.
Yeah.
You didn't get credit for it, though, so good for you.
Well, yeah, but you brought it up, so there you go.
Yeah, Brent, if you lose, don't bring it up, man.
I don't mind bringing it up. Listen, I'm going to tell you when I win, and I don't mind sucking it up when I lose.
Yeah, we'll see when you start losing some of these Thursdays. Next thing you know, we'll just blow right through them.
And I'm doing pretty well in the golf.
You get one
The other
winner.
thing on Friday, we'll see. All right, hey. This is a big one, I think, for Florida State. It doesn't have to. It's not like defining, but it can be a real big game, potentially, for the Noles. Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery every Thursday. We've got Jaguars All Access coming up live on Fox 30 at 7, or come on out. Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz, back in the Action Sports Shack studios. And listen, Clemson isn't Clemson. We know that. That's fine. They I think outside of one game, I think it was like South Carolina State, they haven't scored over 21 points, I don't believe. Mm-hmm. They are really struggling on the offensive end, and you mentioned the QB. He's struggled. So, but Florida State's won 3 in a row. They started 0-4. It's like the first ACC team to ever do that is to lose 4 in a row to start the year and then win 3 in a row. But they have opportunities. We talked about this last week on this show on Thursday. If you could pick one, would it be beating the Gators? Most people said yes. Clemson or Miami. If you could pick one out of those 3 to win out of these last handful of games, what would you take? And I'm not so sure this one isn't more important than the rest. Because Clemson has been Clemson. Clemson might not be Clemson right now, but this at least says to your guys, to the recruiting world, that you beat Clemson. And I think that carries some weight. I think it has some value. Can they get it done? How big would it be if they did get it done, Austin?
It would be huge. It would be a precedent because, like you said, Clemson is not Clemson this year, but you look at the history of Clemson the past couple of years, and then they have been, prestigious. They have been one of the best teams in college football, and that name still carries a lot of weight. So from a recruiting standpoint, I still think, the Florida Gator game's a little bigger. But, I mean, in terms of the ACC, it's as big as it gets for Florida State, and especially from a team that started so abysmal to start off the season and now a team that's kind of found a little bit of a rhythm. I mean, I feel like they're hitting their stride at the right time to take on a Clemson team. So expectations, I think, should be a pretty close ball game here.
Yeah, you know how Tebow that year got the old promise and he got all that credit for that speech and they turned it around. They ended up winning it. This is not on the same level, but I'm not sure anybody's talking about Mike Norvell pounding the podium enough. I mean, ever since he slammed the podium, I think it was like on a Monday of the week where they won their first game, whoever that was now, a few weeks ago, and they haven't lost since. So it might not be Tebow and the promise, but it was a moment that really since then it's kind of turned things around, and it was as stern as we've seen Mike Norvell, at least talking to the media. Casey, take it away with the Florida State report, but Clemson, FSU, Saturday on ESPN 690. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, that coverage will start right after we get done on the Game Day Live show from 10:30 to 1:30. 1:30 we'll pick up Florida State coverage. We're going to talk about the points that you referenced, Brent, but the first thing we're going to do is not jump over what we heard Mike Norvell say at the top of this block, and that was it's easy to forget what happened last year with Clemson and Florida State, where Clemson showed up and then they didn't play the football game because of COVID issues and there was miscommunications. And you almost forget that happened because it was so long ago. Mike Norvell, you heard him just say that there's no bad blood there, but let's be honest. Dabo doesn't forget that. You know how Dabo is. Mike Norvell's not going to forget that. So I think that's part of this game, and we'll see how that plays in. But yes, 59-3, 3 in a row for FSU. Kind of incredibly, they scored 59 points. They only threw the football 15 times, and most of those were Chubba Purdy, which was good to see him get action. 5 different guys ran for touchdowns for FSU. That'd be Ja'Shawn Corbin, Jordan Travis, Trayshawn Ward, DJ Williams, and Lawrence Tefeli. By the way, he's a freshman from the 727, otherwise known as St. Pete, Florida, so shout out to that.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
Yeah. 9 total team sacks for FSU. I know it's UMass, but still. And then I put, but it was UMass. So anyway, that's the point of the story. That's what happened last week. And now you go on to Clemson, who is coming off a 27-17 loss to Pitt. And Brent, to your point, Clemson has only scored 20-plus points in 2 of their 7 games, and one of them was against a a team that could never have beat Clemson, let's just say. So they are not scoring points. However, their defense is elite. They allow 123.1 yards on the ground this season. FSU, however, runs for 229. So that's the whole game right there. FSU is going to want to run the football as much as possible. Clemson's going to have to stop them. Clemson also wants to run the football. They do it at 147.9 yards a game. FSU allows right under 160. So I imagine going to be a lot of running the football. So if that's your kind of thing, you definitely want to tune in. And if it's not your thing, you still should tune in because the game is on ESPN 690. The thing is with FSU, you have beaten them this year by throwing the football. Can Clemson do that? And I would agree with you that they probably cannot. So this game in particular, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't know Mike Norvell's entire story. This is the biggest game of his career. And I say that because you're Florida State. You started out, and people thought you were back after you almost beat Notre Dame. Things go horribly wrong. Jacksonville State, we get it. There's still questions on Mike Norvell. If you go to Clemson and win this game, it will do wonders. People will stop doubting you. It doesn't matter how good or bad Clemson is this year. This is a huge game for Mike Norvell. I think it's a statement game. You win this game, and things are just different. I'll put it that way. Me and Austin were talking about this in the commercial. The line on most places is FSU plus 9.5. How in the world, if you are getting 9.5 points and Clemson has only scored 20 points twice, and you're getting half of that before, like today, The game's still a couple days away, and you're getting half of what they're going to score? How do you not? If there's anybody listening, how do you not? You're a fool if you don't bet +9, +9.5. If I'm wrong, I'll own it. I'll play it as a rejoiner. You'll hear this next Thursday. Mm-hmm. But come on.
Clemson 0-7 against the spread this year. I repeat, Clemson 0-7 against the spread this year.
Wow, that's incredible.
So,
what a trend.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Now, here's the thing. Well, here's the thing about that, though. This is where I question Florida State still. Do they have the – I told you this way earlier in the season, that when they came to UNF, you looked at them coming off the bus, what we'd say, just on that field, and you're like, man, that is not Florida State. Like, that is – they can't stack up to the Clemsons of the world, the Georgias of the world, the Alabamas of the world. And there are a lot of teams that can't, by the way, but they're definitely in the can't category. And so I do still wonder, and I understand now you could – like, Pitt is better off than Florida State. I mean, they've proven that this year. They've actually proven it over the last couple of years. So I'm not convinced that Florida State can get this done. Now, 9.5 seems like a lot. I just don't know if they have the horses. It's a team that lost to Jacksonville State. I mean, they were in that game. They lost to Jacksonville State to lose it the way they did. I don't know, man. I don't know that they are here yet. And that's why what you say is this is the biggest game for Norvell. I don't think if they lose, it hurts Norvell that much. I think if they win, it could be extraordinary for Norvell. Keep in mind, they beat UNC team that was, I think, 5th in the country last year. So this, wouldn't necessarily be their best win, although I think it would be a better win than that. And that didn't turn things around just because they beat the 5th best team in the country. I think beating Clemson, the name, as you say it, and the fact that they still have horses at Clemson. They might not be as good. Their offense might be struggling. The quarterback's not playing well, but they can still get off the bus with the best of them because that's how Dabo recruits. I think that all those things are why it would mean a lot. But I also can kind of see why they might be 9.5-point dogs, quite frankly, on the road.
Let me ask you this. So you just cited Jacksonville State, which is fair, but you can't sit here and tell me that's the same team because I could throw back at you what happened to the Jags in week 1. And you're going to tell me they're a completely different team. So I think Florida State has learned some things. That podium that Mike Norvell beat the crap out of taught his team some things. And I think this is a whole different football team. And it might not be the biggest game of his career, but I think it's a pretty huge one because, to your exact point you just made, North Carolina, so what, they were the number 5. That's not the name recognition. This is football. You beat Clemson. That goes down as a win over Clemson. You've got something here. I think 9.5 is a given, and I think they can win this game. But I guess we're just going to have to find out. And whoever runs the football is going to win this game. That's pretty obvious. So we'll see if it's FSU. We'll see if it's Clemson. And you can see it, or you can hear it, on ESPN 690. Coverage starts at 1:30. The game is at 3:30. And that was the FSU report, sponsored by Bono's Pit Barbecue and Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue.
Yeah, it's a good point, by the way. I would say that's I was thinking back. I was like, okay, has Florida State in these, even in losses, what do they look like? And is there anybody that gets off the bus even close to Clemson? And the answer to that would probably be Notre Dame in the opener. I mean, Notre Dame has been in that kind of conversation over the last handful of years. And so they have a team that can compete, from a body and bus standpoint, if you want to call it that. Florida State just hasn't had that. I mean, they've lost that in their recruiting wars. They've the attrition, the everything else. So, but to that point, they lost by 3 to Notre Dame. And I'll tell you this, Clemson's not even close to how good Notre Dame is. It doesn't feel that way at the very least. Hey, we had a question, guys, when we had Martin Buckley on, and this is bad interviewing skills here, but didn't even ask him about the Tom Brady 600 touchdown ball.
Oh, yeah.
And so I asked him after, because somebody on Twitter said ask him about it, and I didn't see it until we had already said goodbye. But so I texted Martin from Palm Beach Autographs, and he said, the price out there is that ball will be worth $500,000. But he said, I think it might be more like $750,000 to $1 million. He said, I think there are let's see. He said, I think there are 20 NHL players with 600 goals, 9 baseball players with 600 home runs, and we've seen those balls go for millions. One 600 touchdown ball made it into the stands, he says. It's crazy. He said, that dude should have never let it leave his hands. How about that? Isn't that pretty wild? So, I mean, that's I didn't think of it in the context of 600 club in other sports. And that ball could be worth, whoo, baby, a lot of money. I wonder if Tom Brady will ever sell it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like he needs more money?
Hey, by the way, here's the question. What will be worth more in 20 years? The ball or the Bitcoin that Brady gave the guy that got it?
The Bitcoin.
Really?
One extra.
Bitcoin's already like 60 grand or something.
He got 1 Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that worth?
60
grand right now.
Okay.
But, I mean, in my thought in that would be one extra game for the rest of the time, and who knows how much longer. There might be a second extra game. I feel like somebody else will do 600 touchdowns.
I don't know, man. Did you see the list that he's doubled up? Like, Joe Montana had like 280 touchdowns.
No, I'm with you. If I'm a betting person, I'd bet that another one of those comes in existence and Bitcoin keeps going up. That would be my thought process.
I think I'd take the football there, Austin.
Man, I'm looking right now.
I just don't know if Bitcoin's going to get Bitcoin. Like, it still will go up a little. I'm just not sure it's going to go up like 10 times its value from here.
World's a crazy place, Brent.
I mean, who knows?
I hope
who
Ethereum
really
does,
knows?
though.
That's
I hope Ethereum, M2, and Shiba do.
Shiba.
Is it Shiba?
No, I have no idea.
Shiba's the new doggy coin, man. Look into it.
Yeah.
I'm looking
it was
hard.
hot and heavy this week, by the way.
And this has been your Cryptocurrency Minute brought to you by nobody. But we're
nobody, but
nobody.
Hey, bring it on. Blockchain or one of them, right?
Yeah.
We'll be back. Coinbase. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. By the way, a word or two about PETA when we come back.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
Did anyone watch football last year and think, you know what, I think there's just too much taunting going on? These guys seem to be too excited when they make big plays, and every now and again, it seems to be in the face of their opponent. This does not have any impact on the competition of the game until you choose to make it so. And what I'm suggesting is don't choose that. Don't choose that.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And watch exclusively on ESPN+.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jacks, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jacks.
Mr. and Mrs. Flavor, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here. I'm Barry, the flavor of berry.
I'm Janet. I'm bitter.
And I understand your son is the flavor menthol?
Yes, he's the menthol in a menthol cigarette.
He's such a disappointment. Out there getting people addicted, being used by big tobacco to target black people. He could have been a lozenge.
Menthol cigarettes are harder to quit than regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Temperatures keep climbing and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Kinetico makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric, twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
It's a new approach to healthcare. The Center for Health and Sports Medicine is built on the pillars of health: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, with primary care sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, an advanced diagnostics lab for wellness and sports medicine, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art fitness facility, all under one roof. What does this mean for you? As a Center for Health and Sports Medicine patient, you'll receive medical care in a collaborative, proactive, goal-oriented manner. In other words, everything they do is centered around you. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Doctors Without Borders teams confront hard facts in conflict and crisis zones. When others look away, we step in to act. Because measles still kills more than 100,000 children every year, we're there to vaccinate more than 1 million. Because some countries have only 1 or 2 mental health professionals. We provided over 400,000 mental health consultations last year. The fact is, your support makes our life-saving work possible. Picture the impact we can have together. DoctorsWithoutBorders.org.
What's your ultimate game day experience? A tricked-out man cave? Deluxe tailgate? Then enter the 5-Hour Energy Football Sweepstakes for a chance to win $10,000. And make your ultimate game day experience a reality. To enter, buy any 5-Hour Energy product and upload the receipt. It's that easy. The 5-Hour Energy Football Sweepstakes. Enter today.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 and a legal resident of the U.S. Ends December 10th, 2021. For official rules and how to enter without purchase, visit 5hesport.com. Void where prohibited.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jackson. After you listen to us from 3 to 6 today, listen to Thursday Night Football as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers travel to the desert to take on the undefeated Cardinals. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. right here on ESPN 690.
I didn't even know we had lost all those games at home, to tell you the truth, and I'm used to winning at home. And, we won at home all year. And so, when you lose a few games, you just figured, hey, man, it's time for us to win. And like I said last night, these guys don't worry. They didn't, they weren't worried about last night. I mean, some people in this room thought the series is over already after one game, but it's a 7-game series.
I have no idea who that was from the World Series.
Really?
Was that Dusty?
You better believe it.
I was, my mind, I was thinking the home game stuff. I was thinking like Seattle for a second with the Jags, because they're 0-3 at home. So I thought maybe there was something going on there, but then obviously at the end, I clicked into baseball. So there you go, Dusty Baker. By the way, Austin Lane, I just want to break this news to you. I think you know this, but your wife, your mom, and me are meta friends.
You're lucky that I went on Twitter and checked what's trending today, because if I didn't see what was trending and know that Meta is now Facebook, we would have had some serious issues. But I get where you're going with it, and I think it's a dumb move by Facebook.
Well, what the heck is this? I mean, is this just a rebrand? Well, I think there's a story. I haven't read much on it. Is it the rebrand of Facebook because they've had all the issues? Is it a rebrand because they're trying to capture a younger generation and they now know basically, anybody my age and older are the ones that use like Facebook?
Yeah.
Essentially. But you're not getting like the kids to jump on Facebook. Is that what it is? I mean, what have you seen behind this name change? And I'm not sure I like it.
Yeah, it's my understanding that in terms of social media, Facebook's going to stay the same. In terms of the corporate name, it's going to be Meta now. So like I think like on the stock market and everything, it's Meta. But like, you know, when you log into your app, it's still going to be Facebook, I think.
Okay.
But also, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I
have
so
no
be
idea
it.
what's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, people are up in arms because they're changing the name of Facebook.
Oh.
Supposedly. But at the same time, I mean.
But they're not actually changing the name of Facebook.
So on the stock market, yes. On your app, no.
Okay.
By my understanding.
Speaking of four-letter words, how about from Meta to PETA?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see all this stuff today?
Yep. Hit us with it, Brent.
So Scobie's the one that got me onto it because I was watching him go back and forth. It was kind of funny. But TMZ first came out with it, said PETA is urging the MLB to stop using the term bullpen to describe the place where pitchers warm up.
Mm-hmm.
Scobie then said, imagine the meetings that take place at PETA that come up with these ideas. The bad ideas have to be amazing.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Well, PETA responded to him.
Oh, did they really?
I'm pretty sure they did. Is this real PETA? Is this? Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, 1 million followers. You would think so, right?
Nice.
Said, thanks for appreciating our ideas. The Arm Barn is a fun new name, and it strikes out the reference to bulls awaiting slaughter.
Yeah.
Balls awaiting slaughter would be something. As a Scobie says, as a
What are we
person
doing?
with arms, I am offended.
Yeah. So to set the point here with PETA, they refer to that bullpen refers to an area of the bull's pen where bulls are held to get slaughtered. It's a word with a specious roots, and we can do better than that. Switching to arm barn would be a home run. This is them, not me talking. Switching to arm barn would be a home run for baseball fans, players, and animals. Now, a little aggressive on PETA because PETA can be aggressive. I'm not going to hate on PETA because, you know, there's other energy to direct. But me and Casey agree on this. We aren't mad at Arm Barn.
Arm Barn isn't bad. Now, if you're from Rhode Island, Arm Barn can be very hard to say.
Arm Barn.
That's an Arm Barn.
Arm Barn.
I mean,
here's the thing, and this is a great teaching lesson. Like, if you have a problem with something and you're going to complain about it, you better have a better solution.
Well, that's a good point, too. I say that a lot. I like that.
PETA might have a better solution.
Mark me down for Arm Barn. I'm just going to call it that from now on.
I'm also in on Arm Barn.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with, like, pigskin?
That's a good point.
Well, we got to come up.
Let's change Arm Barn first. One thing at a time here. I mean, can you imagine Bob Uecker and the Brewers go to the Arm Barn? I mean, come on.
Can you make a call to the Arm Barn?
Yeah.
I think it works.
I do too.
It kind of feels like we're going shopping at the town center.
The Arm Barn?
Yes.
Okay.
What do they sell? Just
What
out
do
of
they sell at the
curiosity.
Arm Barn?
Watches?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
There you go. Watches.
Okay.
Actually, how about this? That's a good name for a tattoo parlor.
The Arm Barn.
That's
Not
better.
bad. Not
Yeah.
bad.
That would be pretty good, right?
Not bad.
All right, we got football at 5 coming up. We'll be back. We're going to make our Thursday night picks. Go high school football later. We're live at String Sports Brewery, and we kind of like the Arm Barn. PETA. We'll be back.
Know what time it is? It's time to get moving. Cora Physical Therapy has opened a new state-of-the-art clinic in Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and will be opening another one soon in Brunswick. With Cora, you have access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. Cora is all about treating everyone right now. It's your move. Visit coraphysicaltherapy.com for a free screening. No physician's referral required. Same-day appointments available.
So, have you noticed when you watch the news that lots of crimes are recorded on cameras, especially ding-dong doorbells? Well, that's because they don't have proper security systems with them. Cameras are very sophisticated today and have multiple options. That's why you should deal with the experts at SafeTouch Security. When combined with a SafeTouch security system, the possibilities are endless. And when the SafeTouch experts install your cameras, they're virtually hack-resistant. And SafeTouch never shares your internet or personal information. So for the latest info on NVR cameras, digital cameras, or cameras with cloud storage, SafeTouch can help you choose the cameras that are right for you and your family. And even the best camera needs a SafeTouch security system. Don't give the bad guys a doorway to invade your home and family. Call SafeTouch today and see the many options available to your home and business. You'll be surprised how affordable a new SafeTouch integrated system can be. Call now while we still have our most popular options available, or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Here in the Sunshine State, more than 3 million men are over age 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Brown. If you're having problems in the bedroom and pills like Viagra have let you down, you'll see results at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, or your exam is free. And it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. Guaranteed results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs and make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau. Check out Action Sports Jacks weekdays from 3 until 6 on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. NFL Week 8 kicks off with a marquee matchup in Arizona tonight. The Green Bay Packers play the still unbeaten and probably still unappreciated Cardinals. John Gambadoro from Arizona Sports 98.7 FM.
They played 7 teams. They've beaten 7 teams. I'm not sure why everybody keeps thinking, oh, I need another game to see. Oh, I need this game. I got to wait till the Colts game. I got to wait. Why? You played 7 games. You've won 7 games. I mean, shouldn't that be enough to tell you they're a good football team?
John Gambadoro on Barton Hahn. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports you can add Marquez Valdez-Scantling to the list of unavailable wideouts for the Packers. DeAndre Hopkins is expected to play for the Cardinals. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes tells his teammates, "It's on me. I need to play better." After a loss to the Titans, Kansas City is 3-4. Mahomes has at least 1 pick in each of his last 6 games. He had only 6 all of last season. Washington football team defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio deflecting questions about the open head coaching job at USC.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Every win is a confidence builder. They're all special in different ways. We've been banged up this year, but other teams have as well. So we got a lot of guys who we'd love to come back this week. Next week obviously gives them, an extra 3 days. So not sure what the status of a couple of those guys is going to be. Preston and Marquez and Dave. But it'd be great to get those guys back. But we got to go with what we have on Thursday.
That is Aaron Rodgers, Packers-Cardinals tonight on ESPN 690. You can watch it on Fox 30 as well. It should be a fantastic football game. I think I saw a stat. First time since, 1934, teams have met this late in the season with a combined loss of 1. If I saw that right, it was like a Thanksgiving Day meeting between, I don't even remember the teams. But somebody was 12-0, somebody was 11-1, I think.
Yeah.
So pretty. I mean, it doesn't seem like that crazy to be 6-1, 7-0, but maybe it really showcases how bad the Thursday night football games have been.
This is true.
The lineup.
This is very true.
So we got a good one, but obviously it comes with a little bit of an asterisk. When you lose this many receivers for Green Bay, you have to wonder how will they perform. I like the Cardinals tonight. This game most likely, unless you talk me out of it. But the line is interesting. The over/under is interesting. And we have our picks coming up in just a little bit. The Aaron Rodgers, listen to him talk right there, I thought about this last week. I forget who he was with. When did Green Bay play? They play like Sunday afternoon.
Last week they played Sunday at 1 against the football team right here on ESPN 690.
Oh, they did. I was watching on TV, and I saw the post-game interview, I think. And I forget who he was with. I think it's Pam Oliver. And it sounded like he said, at the end of the interview, love you. And she said, love you too.
Nice.
Did you catch that?
No, I didn't. I saw Taylor Heineke jump in the stands and then the ball get called back and then blow it on 4th down or whatever that was.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Saw that part.
Yeah,
I didn't see him say that, though, Aaron Rodgers.
He said something like, you ever do that, by the way, or come close to doing that on the phone with somebody that, isn't your wife or your mom or something like that? Come close to saying, love you. It's usually the goodbye. Yeah. I feel like I have done that.
Really?
That's what I kind of.
You've done it?
That's what I feel like.
You said I love you to some random person?
Well, yeah.
Like someone calling about your, whatever, your car's warranty. You tell me you love them?
Yeah, I've done it. One time I was like, crap.
Okay.
Yeah, like you maybe have just talked to your mom an hour before or something, and you end your conversation with mom, like, hey, love you, Mom, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's your last line, and then you're just not paying attention. You're kind of hanging up, and you're like, I haven't done it physically, but I've caught myself I think I almost just said love you to somebody, whoever I was talking to at the moment. Well, I kind of felt like that's what Aaron Rodgers did the other day.
I got you.
And I don't he certainly didn't say love you to Pam Oliver like he was hitting on her. Okay?
Yeah, no, for sure.
That. But she caught it because she was like, love you too.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, shout out to Pam Oliver then for, obviously witty and on top of her game. I guess it's kind of like when I go through the drive-thru and they say, enjoy your meal. I go, thank you, you too. And it's like, whoa, I'm an idiot because you're probably not going to eat the meal that you're Yeah, okay. So, yeah,
and
I can get
or
that.
at the airport, I say, have a good flight. Yeah, you too.
Hey, yeah,
well,
thank you,
I'm
you
still
too.
working here.
Yes, I'm not going anywhere.
That's exactly it, though. That's my
Yes.
point. And what I was going to say about Aaron Rodgers, too, is I feel like he has become the interview. He's a great interview. I don't know if I felt like that last year or 2 years ago, but ever since that press conference where he just unloaded everything, it was a great press conference. He goes on with McAfee a lot. Even, again, in the post-game interview last week, I thought he was just so matter of fact. He's like, yeah, we're 6-1. We really haven't played that great offensively. It doesn't always look pretty, but, hey, we'll take 6-1. He just kind of says stuff, not just the PC way all the time, not what you would expect a coach to say or a veteran quarterback where we've gotten very comfortable to guys like Brady and Manning after games. He really just kind of says it how it is. And I think he's a very refreshing interview right now, whether he says love you at the end of it or not.
Yeah, if this truly is the last dance for Aaron Rodgers, he's going out his way. And it's almost like somebody told him this year, which they should have told him 5 years ago, hey, man, you're one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And, this team values you. And this team should, be thankful for all that you've contributed to the organization. And, it just seems like he knows where he stands now. And I guess I get the sense in the last couple of years, he didn't kind of have this demeanor. And you wish he would have because he is that great of a player. He is that big of an influence on that team. And for whatever reason, whether it was a falling out with, ownership or the GM, whatever the case may be, you just got the sense that he never truly got to be himself. And this is kind of the Aaron Rodgers that you're seeing now is this year.
Thank you. Love it. Love you too.
Nice, Casey.
Thank you. Love it. Love you too.
Dang.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I thought that didn't get a lot of play, at least where I was watching on Twitter or anything. I was a little surprised that didn't become more of a thing. It was, but you just said something interesting. And as you're saying it, I'm thinking, we have had so many conversations over the last, let's just say 2 years, where we have said, even since you stopped playing in the NFL, the athlete has changed. The athlete is different. The branding is so important. The power of the athlete is different on and off the field. And I'm not Manning and Brady and guys like Rodgers have seemingly had a lot of power and influence anyway for years. But doesn't it feel like we're when we say the player is changing, we kind of say it from a young player perspective. We said the new guy coming in the league, the young star coming in the league. Well, the two most different athletes that we might have right now in the NFL from what we used to know to right now is actually Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Those guys have changed for different reasons, but to your point, I just used the word refreshing. It just feels like they're letting us in. after blocking us out for so long and just trying to have the blinders on. And they know how to deal with it now. They know it's not going to impact their play. They're allowed to in the situations they're in, or they don't care anymore in the situations they're in. And so I think that has been really fun to watch and cool to watch. And it makes both guys way more likable, in my opinion. I mean, I did not like him anyway.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I like this version of Brady way better. I like this version of Aaron Rodgers way better. My view on Rodgers before, a little prima donna-ish. My view on, he might still have that, but it's less of a view. I kind of like this Aaron Rodgers now. My view on Tom Brady, thought it was unbelievable, a privilege to watch, but it's also like I'm tired of you. You're in New England. You're with Belichick. You're with Brady. I don't even care. I don't know you. I don't need to like you that much, all that stuff. Now I'm like, this is the most likable guy at all. Like, it doesn't bother me to see him break records, wins, all that stuff. I really like these two guys, this version of these two guys, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we always talk about the double standard at the quarterback position. The quarterback's supposed to act a certain way. They have to present themselves a certain way. They have to say these certain things. And you kind of saw that with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. They fit the status quo. And when we talk about Aaron Rodgers' career, you know, he always showed you glimpses that he didn't want to be that guy. Whether it was like at a Milwaukee Bucks game, pounding beers, whether it was, you know, at a press conference wearing the exact shirt that the big Lebowski wore, like the cover or whatever. Like, he always kind of had these glimpses of, like, there's more to Aaron Rodgers than what he's really presenting to everybody, because it seems like someone's saying you don't do that. That's not, you know, you're going to put all the attention on you. And, you know, you would hear these interviews in the offseason, and you'd be entertained by Aaron Rodgers. He did one with Justin Vernon of Bon Iver, which is one of my favorite interviews of all time. So you saw these different glimpses of Aaron Rodgers, and then you saw, you know, Tom Brady go to Tampa Bay and kind of turn it loose a little bit and have fun. And now you see Aaron Rodgers doing the exact same thing. What they have in common, though, is, yes, there's not as much pressure, it seems like, because they are enjoying themselves. They are having fun. They are living in the moment. But in doing that, they're also both playing at a pretty high level right now as well.
Yeah, well, that's true, too. I mean, and they're still playing at that level. They're enjoyable. They're really enjoyable to watch. I mean, I guess they're also in two areas where it's not like around here. If one of them played for the Titans, I'd probably be miserable watching them, right, if I was a Jags fan.
Yeah.
But they're playing in Tampa in the NFC and obviously in Green Bay. Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz here, String Sports Brewery. We got Jaguars All Access coming up in a bit. We'll pick this game in a moment before Austin gets out of here, and then we'll do some high school football too. We never got to this over the weekend, and maybe you guys did while I was away a little bit yesterday. I don't think you did. Do you like the 2-point conversion rule in the college we saw the other day? Illinois and Penn State. Did you like that? The 2-point, just letting 2-pointers fly all over the place and calling it 9 OTs?
Yeah. Obviously, it made for a long game. I kept on switching back and forth with it. It's set up to, you know, protect the players, and so I'm all for that. I guess you just didn't anticipate, you know, two offensive corners that couldn't get the job done. So I don't mind it when it works. That's just a circumstance of it not working going to 9 overtimes.
Yeah, well, it was a little bit of both. I mean, if you take the first 3 2-point conversion attempts, and I forget 2 of them by whoever and 1 by the other, they had dropped passes. I mean, the plays were there, and the passes they were flat out dropped, and or it was like a bad throw or something. Whoever you want to put the blame on, but the plays were there. And then after that, it was like, what are these guys calling? Like, I wanted to fire both offensive coordinators. I think initially they were 0 for 8. So. I guess my biggest problem with it, like, I don't necessarily mind the 2 points, but I don't love the fact that they call it 9 OTs. If you, whatever that game was, Texas A&M and whatever, a couple years back, when it went, I think it was 7 overtimes. If you're playing from the 25, most likely to get in the end zone, I would say you're averaging about 4 to 5 plays anyway, because you probably pick up a first down. And then you might get in at the end zone a couple of plays later on average, or it might take you 7 on one and 2 on the other. Well, this is one play. I mean, yeah. you go to 9 OTs. Like, I just don't think it. I don't think we're describing it correctly. You know, it definitely has more of a feel of a hockey shootout or a soccer, penalty kick shootout, doesn't it?
No, for sure. It kind of does take some of the luster away a little bit when it is just the 2-point conversions. But like I said, I think it's designed for player safety, so I'm not mad at that. But like to say it's 9 overtimes, yeah, that's a little embellished.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. Casey, you're a younger guy. This is like, see, I always go to Ty was watching this game. He knew what was coming, and he couldn't wait for it. He was kind of excited about it. And so, I mean, if the younger generation is saying, yeah, we kind of like it, then I always think then they're on to something. Now, I also said this is bad, but at the same time, bad equaled good because it was still close, and it was almost like watching the big wreck. Wait for the big one to happen at Daytona, So it had a little bit of that element in it. I wonder what it would look like if you got one really executed to perfection for like 9 OTs. What was your take on it, Casey?
I'm fine with it, but some of us bet on the game that was on after, so I'm going to need you to get off the TV or like flex it to a different channel. I'm fine with it, but I'm like, in all seriousness, this is going to sound like a joke, but I am serious that I think it'd be so cool if they did something like PKs in soccer where your field goal kicker, like you just keep backing up until the other guy doesn't make it. Like that's my dream OT.
What a pressure cooker.
Wouldn't that be cool? Like
I
like that idea, but the going for 2 and all that, I'm fine with it, but just on Saturday I wasn't, because all seriousness, I bet on the next game, so let's go.
All right, speaking of betting on the game, let's give it to everybody now. Thursday Night Football tonight on ESPN 690 on Fox 30. It's a good one on paper, Packers and Cardinals. Don't even know what the line is. I got to believe it slid a little bit toward Arizona with all 3 wide receivers of the Green Bay Packers out. Expect a lot of targets for Mercedes Lewis tonight.
There's a name.
What do we got, Casey?
Yeah, so the situation is thus. I'll start with the standings. Austin Lane last week, he went under 40.5. He hit that. So that'd be 6-1 for you.
Better believe it.
Brent Martineau, Browns to win, 7-0. And me, I'm just not good at this. Broncos plus 1.5, just not good. I'm 4-3. Like I said, not good at this. So the options are this. But by the way, both teams this year 6-1 against the spread. I should say that. You can obviously pick the winner. You can go Green Bay plus 6.5 or Arizona minus 6.5, and the over/under number is 50.5.
Casey, I believe you have the honors because you lost last week. Brent is and the week before. So this is your game now.
Yep.
Brent is picking second because he had a higher score than I did in fantasy football. We both won. We both won. But yeah, it is what it is. And I'll be honest with you, I like where I'm sitting right now because there's no pressure on me.
Yeah, I hate where I'm sitting.
So I love where I'm sitting. This is actually a gift as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I have to pick Arizona because with no wide receivers, I can't imagine that this goes well for the Packers, although maybe Aaron Jones will have the coming out party for my fantasy team and really stick it to Brent, get started early with a big performance. But, yeah, I'll take the Cardinals to win outright.
Yeah, it should be a heavy dose of Aaron Jones. That's not good for my fantasy team, even though I made a lot of moves today as the GM to activate just about everybody. So get ready, Casey, this weekend.
Born ready.
We'll be on the lookout for that one.
Daniel Jones.
So I got 6.5. I could take Cardinals or Packers, or 50.5. Is that what the number is?
Correct, 50.5.
This line was 5.5. We've had some good Thursday night football games. I really like Arizona tonight. 50.5 is a little more difficult. That's an easy over, though. I'm going to take undefeated on Thursday. There is a lot of pressure here, but I'm confident.
Shot clock violation, Giannis Adekempo, please.
No, we're not up on a commercial break yet. I am going to take, do I like the over or Cardinals better? I'm going to take the Cardinals by a touchdown.
Wow.
Give me the over.
All right.
Appreciate it. Arizona can't stop the run. Going to be a big dose of Aaron Jones tonight. Going to be some points getting put up. And by the way, if Brent was going to go with the over-under, I was taking Green Bay with the points.
That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
I would have taken the over.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I like the I got to go with my gut. I've liked the Cardinals all week, even before the news of the receivers. So, 6.5 is quite a bit against a team like Green Bay, but I just don't think this is going to live up to the hype.
We shall see. Before I head out, Brent, can we get to the real breaking news right now on Twitter?
What PETA? Michael Bublé?
Yeah, well, it's got to do with Meta. Sweet Baby Ray's is the number one trending topic right now on Twitter. And by the way, this confirms that Mark Zuckerberg is not a human being,
Not a
right?
chance.
Alien or robot, one of those, or lizard, one of those things. But as Mark Zuckerberg was announcing, the change of the name from Facebook to Meta, if you looked in his back bookshelf, there is just a random unopened bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's next to some leather-bound books and a picture of his dog just on this shelf. And it makes zero sense. Casey, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's why I sent the photo in the group chat. I saw it, and Sweet Baby Ray's, big fan. So,
By the way,
so good.
Sweet Baby Ray's is fantastic.
So good.
So
So good.
that's why I had to figure out why it was trending, and then I just see this, and I didn't know really what to do with it, so that's why I sent it to you guys. I waited 3 minutes on the stream just watching it, and because Brent's delayed, I see him laugh finally, so I knew I did well.
Okay.
I look over at you, you're holding up the phone like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what to do with this information, but I thought you guys should know it.
I mean, he's not human, right?
No.
This is classic robot behavior.
I mean, it's not open.
Going to put on bookshelf because this is what Yeah, there's no way.
He's smart, man. It's product placement.
For what?
Well, then turn the label.
Does he have stock in Sweet Baby Ray's? Is there stock for Sweet Baby Ray's?
There's got to be.
He's probably he's got a buddy that says, hey, put something random behind you. And there's probably, if you go back and look at other moments like this, he probably has other things.
I don't know.
Has there ever been the Zuckerberg thing is really interesting to me, and I'm not well read on this, so I'll probably say something stupid.
Keep in mind, Brent, I haven't seen the movie The Social Network, so I know everything about him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, he comes up with this thing that's takes over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And now it's I feel like there's no no bigger villain than Zuckerberg for a variety of reasons. And by the way, I'm not defending him. If he is a villain in some way, shape, or form, then he probably should be. But it just feels like this fall from grace, and the guy still looks like he's 18 years old.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't.
So
age.
it's a weird thing to kind of look at the guy and feel like he looks like he's 20.
Yeah.
And yet everybody hates him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a weird fall from grace for him.
No, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I felt if you know the story with him, he kind of cut out his friend, did his friend dirty, because his friend was a big part of Facebook too. He cut him out of the company. A big, lawyer thing ensues. His friend gets paid, but his name's off the heading, whatever the case may be. Okay.
Yeah.
I just get the sense that Mark Zuckerberg wanted to change the world, and he wanted to put give the power to the people. And then he gave the power to us, and we used Facebook how we used it, and then it kind of backfired, and then he tried to regulate it, and that, ticked the people even more, and then it became out of control, and now he's kind of, classified as the villain. I don't give him much time a day because, if Facebook went away, I'm going to not get to see my third grade teacher's pets anymore on Facebook. What am I going to do with my life? I'm okay. I'll be okay. I know some people won't be okay because some people, their whole life is posting things on Facebook and critiquing other people's posts and all this stuff. It's just it's a weird world that we live in, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Facebook could go away. Just keep the Facebook memories, all right? It's kind of like my photo
Brent's
album.
addicted.
Not addicted, but I do like the Facebook memories when they pop up.
Yeah.
Like today's Jags-Dolphins game from 2014.
Hey, Brent, let me ask you this. If they started charging for Facebook, maybe $5 a month, would you pay for that, or $10 a month?
No.
No?
No. I'm not on Facebook or not. Now, Twitter, if they wanted to charge, I probably would.
Oh, I'd give $100
We just said
every
that
day.
in the break. We were talking about that, and I said I would pay.
Yeah, I would probably pay.
No price too high.
But here's my view on Zuckerberg. He's part of the issue with a lot of folks I have in this world sometimes. I think he bought way too much into his own bull bleep. And that's just to bring this whole conversation around for PETA.
Got it. It took me a second, but now it's registering. Got it.
All right.
Nicely
We're making
done.
a call, by the way, to the Arm Barn.
You better believe it.
We'll be back. Have a good rest of your night, Austin.
Take it easy, man.
Good luck, and hope the under hits.
Hey, come on now. Go,
back.
Pat, go.
Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A few scattered, lingering showers into this evening. Partly cloudy skies overnight tonight with temperatures dropping into the upper 50s. Your Friday will be partly sunny and breezy. Still a few scattered showers from time to time and highs in the low to mid 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for 104.5 WOKV.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior, Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now open in Kingsland, on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
So, have you noticed when you watch the news that lots of crimes are recorded on cameras, especially ding-dong doorbells? Well, that's because they don't have proper security systems with them. Cameras are very sophisticated today and have multiple options. That's why you should deal with the experts at SafeTouch Security. When combined with a SafeTouch security system, the possibilities are endless. And when the SafeTouch experts install your cameras, they're virtually hack-resistant. And SafeTouch never shares your internet or personal information. So for the latest info on NVR cameras, digital cameras, or cameras with cloud storage, SafeTouch can help you choose the cameras that are right for you and your family. And even the best camera needs a SafeTouch security system. Don't give the bad guys a doorway to invade your home and family. Call SafeTouch today and see the many options available to your home and business. You'll be surprised how affordable a new SafeTouch integrated system can be. Call now while we still have our most popular options available, or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900.
Kevin Kugler and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner here from Westwood One with a preview of Thursday Night Football. And what a way to start Week 8, Kurt, as Aaron Rodgers and the 6-1 Packers travel to Arizona to take on Kyler Murray and the undefeated Cardinals.
Kevin, you're right. What an unbelievable game at this juncture. Two best teams in the NFC by a lot of people's projections. And it's really about these quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, since Week 1, when they suffered that big loss to the Saints, has been playing the quarterback position as well as anybody. But maybe the bigger storyline is the young quarterback on the other side, Kyler Murray, one of the front runners for the MVP, and just looks to be in full control of everything that they're doing.
Can't wait, Kurt. Should be a great game. Join us for the Packers at the Cardinals, coming up on Thursday Night Football.
Get ready for the game with more details and preview at westwood1sports.com. And remember to listen for the NFL right here all season long.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I, live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jacks, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts: jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jacks.
O'Reilly. Don't miss See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on wiper blades, headlight bulbs, and more. Right now, get up to a $20 gift card after mail-in rebate with the purchase of select Sylvania bulbs. Plus, earn double O Rewards points with your purchase. Get ready for the weather ahead during See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. What was it? They go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state, based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
I've heard the same thing. You know, it's super loud. The fans are super into the game. They're invested in their team. Like, I've heard it's a great place to play. So I've played at a lot of really loud stadiums, but you know, we're ready for whatever. I think when you're getting ready to play a road game, you're always ready for the max level of noise. So you do everything you can to prepare, and then if you get there and it's not as loud as you think, you can, you know, that's easy to adjust that way. But if you didn't prepare for a loud game and then you can't communicate, it's really hard to last minute get all that in order. So we're going to prepare like we're not going to be able to hear anything, and then going from there, if we can, we'll adjust, you know, as the game goes. But we're definitely preparing for a loud atmosphere.
That is Trevor Lawrence. They should be prepared. Probably not wild and crazy. I was there one time, and the Jags were awful that year. You say, which year is that, Brent? They were really bad.
Got to be more specific.
Year. Yes, that was the 13 year. And it was loud, but it wasn't crazy loud because it was hard for the energy level to get too jacked up because everybody knew the Jags stunk. And I think Seattle beat them like, I don't know what the score was, but
it was a lot to a little.
30s to 10.
It was a lot to a little. Do you think there's any payback, by the way, for the way the Jags fans treated those Seattle players a couple of years ago? One of them tried to climb into the stands.
Yeah, that was during the Jags run in 17. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be a memory that hangs with the Seahawks. I just do wonder if the energy is a little bit down. Listen, I mean, we're being honest. The Jags don't bring a ton of energy to an opposing stadium at this, especially when you're not that good, when you're 1-5. I mean, that's what it is. And right now, I'm not sure there's a lot of energy buzzing in Seattle. Now, we're not out there, and you'll be out there this weekend, Stuart Weber. But I mean, they're 2-5. They've lost 3 in a row. There's really not that much excitement. They're not that good. Russell Wilson's not playing, so I just don't. Listen, it'll be loud at times. I just don't think it will be like it can be. I think going to Arrowhead right now is probably louder than Seattle in a big-time way, and even though they're only 3-4. So I don't think they'll get that kind of atmosphere, although I am interested to see. He's done so well at the line of scrimmage, Trevor Lawrence has, that I'm interested in that atmosphere, how he handles it, how he does it at this level. He's played in big atmospheres, loud stadiums, but he might not have had to do as much at the line of scrimmage at Clemson that he has to do now. So that'll be something for you to watch, Stuart Weber, when you make the trip to Seattle.
Should I be doing something?
I was going to say, will it be louder on Sunday afternoon when I'm there for the Jags game, or will it be louder Monday night when I go back to the stadium to see the Seattle Sounders take on the LA Galaxy?
How much do they get for the Sounders?
Like 40.
And so it's
they don't do the upper deck. They don't do like the upper deck there.
Yeah. So I'm. What do you think? I mean, I'm telling you, probably closer than you think.
Yeah, closer.
Because I just don't think there's a vibe out there right now with the Seahawks team, and they're not going to play a style of ball that's probably going to be kind of going to bring the crowd into it that much. Not going to create a lot of turnovers, most likely. Not going to have these huge plays. I mean, they had the big one to DK Metcalf. Maybe Metcalf can do that against the secondary. It'll be. I'll be interested to get your take on the feel of that stadium.
I'm still very much looking forward to it.
Oh, it's a great play. Yeah. Listen, that was coupled, and we're going to bring Kevin Sullivan here in a moment, but that was coupled. That was a week-long trip when I went. We stayed out in Oakland, played the Raiders. Again, the Jags were just awful that year, but they played the Raiders. We stayed out there for a week and then went up to Seattle like normal time, like 24 hours before the game. And so I only got 36 hours in Seattle, and I was like, I want to go back. This is a cool place. Just didn't spend a lot of time there. And I also just don't think we got the full effect of what that place could sound like. I think you might say the same coming off this Sunday. Be like, yeah, it was cool, but I wonder what it's like in a playoff game. You know?
I was thinking the same thing, which is why I took the extra day to go see a little bit more of the city.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's a good plan on your part. Let's bring in Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach. Been hanging around. Sorry, Coach, we'll get to high school eventually.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Hey, I think you'd be good on this, though. When you watch an NFL game, obviously, like the quarterback stuff in high school sometimes actually drives me nuts. I've always been this. The Bulls people used to get really mad at me when I said this because I would be like, I don't understand why your quarterback runs all the way to the sideline. I just don't get it. Like, why tire the? I mean, you're tiring the guy out, aren't you?
Right.
I don't understand it. But listen, it worked for Bowles and Corky Rogers and everybody forever. I understand that part. But the bottom line is there's a different level at high school that you're going to ask your quarterback to remember, do at the line of scrimmage. In college, there's another level of it. Well, in the NFL, there's a real level of it, right? I mean, Drew Brees was talking about it Monday in that Manning cast. Like, when he didn't do it in San Diego in his early years, but when he got to New Orleans, he was the guy calling the Mike linebacker out and making all the protection calls and stuff. So when you watch a game, can you see that at every level, like how much the quarterback's responsibility changes? Again, I don't even know if high school counts in this conversation, but maybe college to the NFL.
Well, I think there's some high school guys that do a good job that have been around in their system a long time.
Really?
I had a couple of guys that I could go in there and say, hey, we're going to go, inside zone check. And if they give us the inside zone, we run it. If not, he checks out and we go to quick game, or maybe we went to an outside run, depending on what we were playing that week. So there's a lot of guys that run these check with me's on the high school level. College, I think it's a lot more involved. I think they give those guys a little bit more play once they get in and can handle it. I don't think Caleb Williams, when he came in that first game, could check out of every play that he had. You know what I mean? That kid at Oklahoma that came in as 5 games in the season hadn't really had any meaningful starts. But I think as they go, I guarantee you Trevor called plays at Clemson. I guarantee you they let him check things and move guys around and stuff. Then the NFL, like you said, completely different, because they could go from the run pass combo, completely change the play because they gave him something different they didn't think they were going to see, and then he's changing the play completely. So I don't know, as they get on, like Brady and Manning and those guys coach themselves. That they've been around. Yeah. You can't see I bet you can't give Tom Brady something he hadn't seen in 20-something years in the NFL.
Yeah, the game's slow for him. And I thought it was interesting what Breeze said, actually. He's like, listen, I'd feel lost if I didn't make those calls because I've just been doing it for so long. I want to make the call. It's part of my process of getting the ball snapped. And I thought that was interesting. I think Trevor will get more and more of that as he goes along. But really, just to put a bow on the point, I'm interested to see in a loud place. He's done so well with really no delay games. They've lined up well ever since the Houston game. He looks like he's got command of this offense, at least what they're asking him to do. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles that atmosphere if it does kind of get loud. It will get loud. It's just a matter of how loud. It gets Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, the Hall of Fame coach, joins us each and every week talking high school football. Blitz Scoreboard Show comes up tomorrow. Stuart Weber along here as well because we've got a Thursday night edition of the Blitz tonight, 11:20 on CBS 47. All right, Weber, give us some of the blockbusters here on Thursday. As we know, Duval County, most of Duval County plays because of security reasons for the Florida-Georgia week. They'll play on Thursday night, so we've got a lot of games tonight.
You say security reasons. Essentially, they need so much security for all the other things that happen with Florida, Georgia, that they play the games on Thursday so they have some actual people that they could bring in and do security for the games.
Yeah.
To make that make a little more sense. But
yeah, that's true.
We absolutely love it, though, in high school football because, it gives us on Friday a chance to get to some places we wouldn't normally get to. And on Friday, we get a bunch of these Duval County public school games. Tonight, we have 10 games on the docket, 8 public schools and 2 of the private schools in Duval County having some games tonight as well. And some of them are pretty meaningful. Now, the 2 biggest games of the week, in my opinion, are the 2 district championship games on Friday night. That's Clay on the road at North Marion, St. Augustine hosting Gainesville. But we'll get to that tomorrow. Tonight, you got some really big RPI games. And when we talk about the RPI, all those teams that don't win a district championship, the way you get in is based off this rating point index, this RPI, where they have taken your schedule, your strength of schedule, your opponent's strength of schedule, your wins, your losses. So many of these factors all put into a number. It gets spit out. And then you get your 4 district champs make it in, and then your next best 4 RPIs make it in. So create some pretty intriguing stuff. One of the big ones tonight, Parker and Ed White. That game over at the Commanders' home field. And Ed White obviously lost that de facto district championship game to Baker County. So they now sit 4th in the region. They're in pretty good shape if you're looking at the points, is Ed White. As for Parker, they sit 7th in their region. So remember, that cutoff line is usually 8th. I say usually because if you get some upsets and some lower-ranked district champions, well, that number and that bubble kind of floats up a little bit sometimes. So sometimes being 8th isn't always the best, so you want to get as high as you can in those RPI rankings. Parker, Ed White, the biggest game that I'm keeping an eye on tonight.
All right. Coach, how about you? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I feel the same way because going in now, the Clay North Marion, to me, the loser's out. They're basically in a playoff game tonight because the RPI is not high enough in 5A, so they're out. And then when you get the Ed White, Terry Parker, Parker finishes the season, so they're done. So where they finish tonight, if they win, they could leapfrog Ed White. If they lose, they could drop down to like a 7th place, and Bishop Kenny could jump them. Because Kenny basically goes Paxton tonight and Episcopal next week. 2 games, possibly could win both games, and they're sitting pretty right then. So to me, Clay or North Marion's out, and it just depends on now. Do we have a rematch of those guys finishing 4 and 5 in the RPI, or do we not have a rematch? You see what I mean? So it's going to be interesting because you're going to end up having 4 teams from their district make the 5A playoffs.
Kevin Sullivan, Stuart Weber crunching numbers this RPI. Weber, you gave us a sheet, or me a sheet, had some Christmas decorations on it, it looks like, on folks that are in good position in the RPI. But there are a lot of bubble teams. I mean, as we look at this weekend from Nice and Fleming Island, St. Augustine, Gainesville, and I know not all this is tonight, but I mean, look at a team like West Nassau, like right on the edge there. So, I mean, there's a lot to play for in this week, in these next couple of days, and going into the playoffs.
You say Christmas, by the way, for our listeners on the sheet. I put a green ranking number if you're on the good side of the bubble and a red ranking number if you're on the bad side of the bubble. So green and red, Christmas, to make that make a little more sense for the listeners out there.
Thank you. That's what you're here to do.
That's what I'm here to do, paint the picture for the folks at home. I'll get to that 7A district in a second, that region 1 in 7A, which is just bananas. But before that, 2 other big games I want to mention that are going on tonight. You got Columbia and Rains. They don't have to worry about it. Both of them are district champs.
Yep.
But that makes for an intriguing matchup as well tonight, where you have 2 really good teams. Little iron sharpens iron before the playoffs matchup tonight. That one will be at the Graveyard. And, heck, Rains played 5 days ago. That's the wild thing of the schedule when you're talking about, the Northwest Classic on a Saturday afternoon. Then you got to turn around and play a Thursday nighter against Columbia. So good luck to Coach Maslin and his Vikings, because that is a tough task to turn around and do that. Another game I want to mention tonight is Orange Park at Englewood. And, you have documented, and you've been to a couple Englewood games, just the turnaround that the Rams have been on this year. Well, they are 4-4 going into this game tonight against Orange Park. A win gives them a 2-2 record in the district, gets them to 5-4, and more than likely gets them a winning record for the season because they finished with Wolfson. So you have a good chance to go 6-4 as an Englewood team that, let's face it, they have not been 6-4 in a long, long time. They've not had a winning record in, I think, almost 2 decades. So, like, that is huge for Coach Harbison and that team to have something big to play for at the end of the year and build momentum for that program. So definitely one I'll keep an eye on tonight with Orange Park and Englewood. And I mentioned that 7A region. Well, I did a little number crunching, looked at the stats. Here's how the region rankings go. In 6th, you got Atlantic Coast. In 7th, you have Nice. In 8th, you have Fleming Island. And in 9th, you have Fletcher. By the way, Ponte Vedra 12th. They're right there as well. But take those first 4 schools. Fletcher's the lowest ranked out of the 4 of them. They're the one that's guaranteed a spot in the postseason because they've already won the district.
Right.
So that's one spot already in, which means that bubble moves from 8th up to 7th now just because the 9th ranked team's already in. These 4 teams are separated by 0.03 of a point in the RPI.
Wow.
0.03 of a point, and their records are all almost identical: 5-3, 5-3, 5-3, 4-4. So huge games these last 2 weeks for all those teams. And heck, if you're Ponte Vedra and you beat Fletcher this week, tomorrow night, that moves you right into this picture as well. You still have a chance. If you're Ponte Vedra, you're 3-5 right now, but a win over the district champion Fletcher team is going to bump you up quite a bit and give you a chance to compete with those other teams in your district for those RPI spots. So it's a lot of really intriguing matchups, and that thing is going to go down to the wire in the final week of the regular season.
Coach, you like that
Yep.
if you're these schools, right?
Yeah, well, one of those, you got Fleming and Nice playing tomorrow night. So to me, that's the game. That could be an elimination game with them too. Fleming finishes with Oakleaf week 10, and then Nice finishes with Westside week 10. So, and then Atlantic Coast, they've got First Coast tonight who doesn't have a win. So if they win tonight, that hurts their RPI because they're playing a team that doesn't have a win, and then they finish with UC, which is a pretty good, formidable task. So one of those teams may get eliminated because Fletcher will be the 4 seed because they'll be the lowest district champion with the lowest RPI. So they'll be the 4 seed. And now you got 3 teams fighting for that other spot with a possible dark horse of Ponte Vedra sneaking in.
Wow, you guys have the calculators out. We got to get out of here so we can take one more break. But Kevin Sullivan, Stuart Weber,
all right,
appreciate
all
the high school football talk.
Right,
We'll do it again
good
tomorrow,
talking.
Coach.
All right, we'll
I'll
do it
see
again.
All right, bye.
But I tell you what, too, the one quick thought here is like they wanted to make this right for teams that had like 2 wins wouldn't get in by being a district runner-up. That was the first mission of what they did to change. I'm not sure I knew I thought that this could potentially happen. What they've added is a ton of intrigue late in the year.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of hard to follow with all the calculations. You got to really follow it. But it adds a lot of intrigue. And nothing wrong with that in the high school season. And by the way, Stuart, I'll say this, keeps a lot of teams alive, too. I mean, no way 3 weeks ago we thought Ponte Vedra might still have a chance.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. I mean, they're 1-3 in the district, 3-5 overall, but they are right there in that RPI. And the one thing I don't like about the RPI is that I can't do it. Like, I can't calculate it on my own. I remember a few years ago, we were able to do the math with their point system, and we could figure it out that night who was going to make it and who wasn't. This, we're going to have to wait until they'll have some awful long selection show that we're going to have to sit through, and it's going to be anyhow.
Yeah, and by the way, who's checking their math, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, really.
So there is that side of it. But you mentioned this changing the way it works for some teams to make sure they get in. A great example of that is the Jackson Tigers, who got bumped by a winless team a couple years ago because of their point system. Well, Jackson right now 4th in their region, and top 6 make it in the lower classification. So really good shape for Jackson to make the playoffs under Coach Christopher Foy, which is just awesome for them considering how that RPI, that system a few years ago really took a toll on them.
All right, Weber, thanks for making it make sense. We'll see you on the Blitz tonight, 11:20 on CBS 47 with some of the high school action. We got to take a quick time out. We come back, Brent buys a beer. We put a bow on the show from String Sports Brewery in Springfield.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jacks, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jacks.
If you're getting engaged, celebrating an anniversary, birthday, or shopping early for the holidays, you do not want to miss Beards Diamond's incredible 41st anniversary sale.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 41% off.
Yes, 41% off.
It's Beards Diamond's incredible anniversary sale, going on now until November 30th.
All GIA certified loose diamonds, all designer settings, pendants, bracelets, earrings, engagement rings.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 41% off.
Believe it.
For over 4 decades, families have been shopping at Beards Diamonds for the absolute lowest prices.
Now to say thank you, everything in the store is discounted up to 41% off.
Nobody beats Beards Diamonds prices.
If you're popping the question soon, celebrating a big anniversary, or even shopping early for the holidays,
now you can go even bigger and save thousands.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 41% off.
Beards Diamonds will never be beat on price.
At the St. John's Town Center.
Or at beardsdiamonds.com.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900.
Men, do you feel embarrassed in the bedroom because of ED or PE? Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution.
I'm Dr. Brown. 98% of patients experience a positive result from the treatment in just 10 minutes after just one office visit. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217. See results on your first visit guaranteed or pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
The Center for Health and Sports Medicine delivers an individualized 360-degree approach to your health, providing a whole-person approach to primary care and sports medicine. With primary care and sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, the sports performance lab, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art wellness center, all under one roof, they'll work to maximize your health by creating a foundational focus on physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. The MD VIP program provides even more benefits, like appointment guarantees and after-hour care. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
He's kept you ahead of storms.
This is going to be a very active afternoon of storms.
He's taken you inside storms.
Look at the Reds then that have shifted a little south of Jacksonville.
And for 33 years, the Chief has seen it all, forecasting severe weather days in advance. So when storms are headed your way, there is only one meteorologist to turn to tonight, the Chief. The knowledge and experience of Jacksonville's Chief Meteorologist, Mike Burrish. Action News Jack's First Alert Weather, only on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Only a couple minutes left. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Casey Kurtz, Brent Martineau. Brent, I asked you to bring it back because we had a request on YouTube. I know you didn't see it, so I'm putting you on the spot with no real background or history. I know you have to buy a beer, so we're going to do this quick. Our guy Miles, he said, enjoying the show. Who you got tonight? USF, ECU. So I know you know what's up with those two teams. So why don't you tell me what's going to happen in that one?
Thanks for putting me on the spot.
No problem.
I don't feel like you said USF.
South Florida Bulls.
Yeah, I don't think they've been very good.
Well, it has not been a great season for the Bulls, sure, but
I don't think East Carolina is as strong as they have been in recent years, if I'm not mistaken.
Also correct.
So where is the game? East Carolina?
That'd be correct.
I'll go with East Carolina.
I got to disagree with you here, Brent. You know, the Bulls, I thought I was going to go to college there for a minute. They didn't let me in. That's okay. We're not playing good at the start of the season. They played Tulsa tough. They only lost by 1. They just beat Temple. The spread is pretty large. If you're interested in that, it's 9.5. I'd give USF plus 9.5. And I think they could win the game outright, but I might be a little biased. So, Miles, that's for you, man. Brent, buy some beer.
It's Brent buys a beer from String Sports Brewery here in Springfield each and every week on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. If you have not redeemed your beverage yet, you need to get here within a month of me buying a beer. I don't even know if Logan Bowles did or not. I think I saw his name off the board, so maybe he did. But this week it's going to be that stat boy. I don't even know if he's been listening lately or not. Used to listen, so we're going to give him a nod. Used to deliver some really good stats for us early in the show.
That makes sense.
Years. And, yeah, it did. So that's stat boy. Brent buys a beer. Spring Sports Brewery got a month to redeem it. What's the date today?
28.
All right, so make sure you come on down. And come on out on a Thursday. Each and every Thursday we have Jaguars All Access. That is coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox 30. And we do our show here 3 to 6 on Thursdays as well, preceding Jaguars All Access. String Sports Brewery here in Springfield. Tomorrow it's a Blitz Scoreboard Show, 9 o'clock. Of course, brought to you by UNF Ospreys and Baker's Sports. And we've got a ton of stuff over the next few days. And that includes tonight, Thursday Night Football, Arizona and Green Bay on ESPN 690. You can also watch that game on Fox 30. I think that's going to do it, Casey.
That's it, man.
We're done. Be at Extreme Wings Sports Grill tomorrow out there, Roosevelt Boulevard, 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. Talk more Florida, Georgia. We got our picks, everything else. So a busy weekend, a fun weekend here in Jacksonville. Hope you have a good rest of your Thursday night, and hope you can tune in to Jaguars All Access coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox 30. We'll be back at it tomorrow at 3 on ESPN 690.
So as you guys know, Mark's gone.
The float artist